And everybody here to greet the crowd and be
introduced to the starting lineup. A great day and a great place to remember it all.
Yes.
In 1950, this was NASCAR's very first super speedway. I'm just not here. Neither were you, and neither was Art Ritchie. Larry McReynolds.
No, I was not, Mike. But you know what? This is a fairly long race with some long stages. A lot of pit stops, and as we've seen all year, a lot of opportunities to make mistakes. Now, the fuel window is about 68 to 74 laps. Forget about that. This is about fresh tires every opportunity. It'll be 4 tires every time. Also, even Mike, the driver that's leading the race, he'll be getting adjustments every time he hits pit road.
It'll be a busy day here in Darlington for the East 36. Now, last week, Timothy from Florida won $5 grand of Clint's cash, and Fox Bet Super 6 is giving you another chance to win today. So for your shot at Clint's cash, just download the Super 6 app on your phone, then enter your 6 race predictions. Download it now and get your picks in before the contest closes for the end of stage 1.
Free to play. Get on that app. Download it, picks. Let's come and get it. Timmy from Daytona Beach won $5,000.
All right, let's go trackside.
And now, race fans, here to say the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome the representative from NASCAR's 75 greatest drivers. Drivers, start your engines.
But they're focused on Richard Petty saying it. Like, seriously, though. Why couldn't they just gather all of them together?
36 drivers at the ready.
Like, seriously.
On the super speedway that's been the lady in black and way too tough to tame. NASCAR on Fox brings you 400 miles at Darlington. Next.
It's NASCAR Throwback Weekend, and the Cup Series heads to South Carolina to take on Darlington Raceway, a track with many names such as the Lady in Black and the track Too Tough to Tame. These names come from the abrasive asphalt and the unique shape of the track that makes drivers work overtime to find speed and keep the tires from wearing out too fast. And the throwback refers to special paint schemes that honor cars and teams from the past while adding a new look with the next-gen race car shape. The egg-shaped 1.37-mile oval has a tighter turns 3 and 4 than turns 1 and 2, but both corners require force to dive in the corners and keep the rear high as you come out of the turns and race down the stairs. A pond on the exterior of the track determined that shape when it was built back in 1950. Several drivers have tamed this uniquely difficult track, some loving it while others loathe it. Last year, Joey Logano made contact with William Byron in the closing laps, forcing Byron into the wall and propelling Joey to the win. Who will take the checkered flag today? Let's find out.
Yeah, you're looking at how the race is going to start. And that sounds like Tom Petty playing in the background, running down a dream.
Major League Stock Car Racing began on this track.
Racing history runs deep in Darlington, South Carolina. NASCAR's oldest super speedway has garnered quite a reputation over the years.
There's nothing mysterious about this track.
Margin for error here.
There's nowhere to go.
track too tough to tame.
Well, just because they say it doesn't mean it's true. Today, these drivers put it all on the line like those who came before them.
Hey, look at how close they are. Now, takes the lead.
Willing to do whatever it takes to get the victory lane. From the pole to the checkered flag. This is the NASCAR Cup Series on FS1. Welcome back to the Goodyear 400 at Darlington Raceway. Yes, those shots are from the Goodyear blend. You know it. You're at a big event when it's here in town. Well, no name is more synonymous than stock car racing than Petty. From Lee Petty, who won 3 titles, to Richard Petty, who won 7, to Kyle Petty, who won 8 Winston Cup races in his career. Won the first race he ever entered at Daytona, an ARCA 200. And he joins us now. Richard will be along. He helped to fire up the engines. You see those highlights and you see that brief little snippets of your family's history and what's that all mean to you?
Yeah, you know, it's amazing to come back to a place where you have so much history. My dad stood on pit road at 13 years old and watched my granddad run the very first race at this place. But, you know, Herschel McGriff's here. He ran 9th in that race. So much family history. But the strange thing, Richard Petty's only one that won here. But Richard Petty won everywhere. Okay, so you got to be honest with that. My granddad never had the success here. I never had that success. I famously said this place should be filled up with water and they should have stadium baskets. Okay, so that's what I said about Darlington. So that's, you know, my love affair with this place.
All right, you finished 6th here with your best
Yes,
finish.
yeah.
What was so tough about racing this track in your day?
You know what? I think a lot of it was mental, and a lot of it was just hearing the stories about how tough this place was from the time I was a kid, from my granddad to my dad. I was here in '85 when the A.J. Foyt had to take the rookie test. When you make A.J. Foyt take a rookie test, it's got to be a tough place.
Yeah.
It gets in your head somewhere.
And you lived up to a lot of expectations too. That was real.
I don't know if I lived up to them, but I could see them. I can see them. I can tell you.
You were
know what?
forced to.
It was so much fun to come here and be a part of this place with the pure record club, the qualifying club, everything that they had here. It was just so much fun. And it's a great honor to be in the booth with you guys. I can't wait till my dad gets up here. This is one thing my dad and I have never done. We've never been in the booth at the same time. Of all the things we've done in this sport, never done that.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
that'll be a first. That's great. Let's have a look at the Goodyear starting lineup for this race. And we're going to go right to the radio and right to the pole sitter.
The bat is Boltcat. How about you, Martin Truex Jr., boy and boys up the booth? You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Boyer. Go ahead.
Man, red hot, been fast. Dover, Kansas, you name it. You've been the name of the game. On the pole again for today. What do you got up there?
Yeah, I feel good about it. Love this racetrack, and guys are doing a great job. So, see if we can't keep this thing up for all day and finish it off with this auto-order Camry.
What's the hardest part about this place? What's the biggest challenge?
Traffic. You know, if we can stay up front all day, we'll be in good shape.
He's going through pit road speed here, guys. We're just going to let him go. Checking those pit road speeds, Kyle. So important down there. You see them, what they're doing here.
I screwed that first part all up.
Yeah, and listen, you're right. You heard him say he screwed that first part up. But here's the deal. Checking that pit road speed and having it, it's the second most important thing today about pit road. First thing is going to be getting on pit road. We saw some yesterday.
So drivers have checked their pit road speed. They'll reform up out of turn number 2 and we'll go to pit road for last minute updates in the poodle skirt, rocking the poodle skirt, Jamie Little.
Oh, Mike, this weekend has just been so much fun, from the throwback outfits to the paint schemes. And, you know, Ross Chastain, he has one of those great paint schemes that we'll talk about later on. But what a week it's been for him. He's been the most talked about driver in the sport, and that's, of course, because of his fight on Sunday with Noah Gragson. But I talked to Ross, and he told me, listen, I don't want it to come to blows, but I'm always going to protect myself, and I'm going to protect my team. Noah and him have talked. They even raced against each other this week, and they're putting it behind them. Now, as for today, that number 1 team, they really feel like they have a car capable of winning, so they could be the most talked about team this week for a different reason. Regan Smith?
Well, Jamie, Tyler Reddick is somebody who always looks forward to coming to Darlington. In fact, last year, he finished 2nd and 3rd in the 2 races at this racetrack. Many expect the same thing out of him today, but Friday afternoon, his job got a little bit more challenging. His crew chief, Billy Scott, was ejected from the racetrack in pre-qualifying tech issues. has to leave. Dave Rogers, the team's technical director, is stepping in to fill in for Billy Scott this weekend. He is going to be on the box. He said that everything was set up for him already. There's not too much of a challenge for him as he gets ready to call this race today. Mike?
Thanks, Regan. I see you brought your own shade for today. Good move. Well, last week at Kansas Speedway, 37 lead changes. That is a record for a 400-mile race on a mile-and-a-half track. 11 caution flags, and this last lap bump and run, and that post-race altercation left everybody leaving Kansas and very excited about what we might see here at Darlington. Noah Gragson on the right, Ross Chastain on the left. Chastain will roll off from 5th position. Gragson, 29th today. Bubba Wallace will start from the outside of the front row, although Truex has chosen the outside. Bubba will be inside. With this and in on the 23.
Definitely going to take clear and give us appreciate the effort. Taking off lately, supposed to keep up the big momentum. Have a big day. See you at the end of it. Yeah, bro. We got you back. You do you. We'll be good.
I love this. Love that pep talk before the race, Bubba Wallace and company. By the way, very good qualifying session for them. We have our favorite, C. Truex on the pole, saw that. How about Stenhouse Jr. being up there? Great part of this conversation early. Great qualifying effort. William Byron, saw him at the end of that race a year ago. Suarez up.
Oh, this is it. Green flag.
Temperature low 80s. It says 63% humidity. I think they got the 6 and the 9 mixed up there.
Ooh, shit.
It is muggy here in
I'll be
Darlington.
keeping an eye on that
And
UPS
here
car.
they come. Green flag. The Goodyear 400 is underway.
Still out there?
Didn't quite clear him off a 2, KP.
Not quite. You saw Truex bobble just a little bit. He was back to the gas, trying to get up on the outside just a little bit, but here he is in 1 and 2. He's got that outside line, got that momentum coming down the front stretch.
Race is on, getting into 1. He's going to need to clear him pretty quick. Truex is holding real strong on that outside. Very challenging to get underneath these guys like this. Cars are lighter on their feet, low on air.
Listen, Bubba's making a statement here in this first lap or so, saying, I'm not giving this up. You're going to have to take it from me.
Well, here's the thing about this old wore-out surface. You have to manage these tires, but that clean air is so important. That's why you see those 2 cars battling so hard for this stop spot.
As wide as Kansas was last week, that's how narrow Darlington is, especially the entry into turn 3.
A lot of neat paint schemes, Kyle. It's kind of hard to figure out who's who. See Chastain there in the Dale Jarrett throwback. Keselowski, John Force taking it all the way back to drag racing. Cool scheme there.
It's a great scheme. I don't know if I'm watching Dale Jarrett or if I'm watching a drag race or Kyle Busch. I don't know if I'm watching Fontana. I don't know what I'm watching right now.
The first 13 are single file. First side-by-side battle is Joey Logano against Kevin Harvick, and now they drop in line.
7th place.
Kyle Busch with a look inside on Keselowski, nothing there.
I think it's really dangerous to get that Truex Jr. out front this clean air so early. Was really fast. I know it was only 20 minutes of practice yesterday, but folks, trending. You look at long run speed, 20, 30 average, he was right at the top of the sheet.
Busch with another look. And no chance on Keselowski there. Further back. It's a fight. We've got a throwback driver this week. That 51 is Ryan Newman. Coming out of not retirement, but let's just say some time away to drive 5 races for Rick Ware Racing as Ryan Priest goes by.
Imagine you put the Rocket Man back under behind a cup car. Doesn't matter. He's been out, qualified well in front of a lot of good cars.
That is the best that a Rick Ware Racing car that was not sourced from Stuart Haas has ever qualified, and Newman's been away. Wow.
Funny how that works.
Riding here with Harvick behind Austin Dillon.
You hear him modulating that throttle. Pretty loose.
Already, 6 laps into the race. 6 laps into the race. He's already working the throttle, trying to modulate, trying to figure out where his car sets best. and rebalance it with the throttle.
This is a racetrack. This is a race the racetrack place. Yeah. You cannot race the competition. Race that racetrack, and if you do that, you're going to be just fine when that end of the race happens.
Which is interesting because you said it earlier. You can't punish these tires too early, but you know you got to get everything you can on restart or at the initial start of the race. You got to pass these guys. So it's how do you compromise that? How do you find that safe place?
Hey, the biggest mover is the 43, and I don't mean the king who just moved from the starter stand all the way up here to the booth, but Eric Jones, feeling a bit ill yesterday. He went all the way home to North Carolina to get a good night's sleep without all the racetrack noise. Feeling much better today.
And that car looks good with that black roof. Hey, I know it's not a vinyl top. I know it's not the Richard Petty vinyl top from '68, but it still looks good. That's a great throwback.
Well, you wouldn't want that vinyl top peeling back like it did then.
Yeah, that was a mistake. We don't want to talk about that. Don't bring that up when he gets up here, okay?
Was that his decision?
To peel it back or the vinyl roof?
No,
the vinyl roof was all Richard Petty.
Style, baby.
Mr. Style. Mr.
Well, back
Style.
then, that's why they had them vinyl roofs. They look better than everybody else.
You got that right, man. All it needed was a T-top.
And there's a look at it.
Yeah, that's
at
it.
Plymouth by Petty. 1 year later, when Plymouth would not give Richard a companion car to the Dodge Daytona, Richard flipped and went to Ford for 1 season before coming back to Dodge.
1968, huh?
I'm impressed with Bubba Wallace, boys. He's holding pace with his Truex. Those Toyotas are going to be strong. They have been. You take it back to Dover, Kansas Speedway last weekend. These Toyotas, they have really turned the wick up here lately.
Bubba Wallace led lap 1. Truex has been out front ever since. 9 laps complete. And the fall off has been about half a second every 5 laps, just as in practice yesterday. Fans wearing their great throwback stuff too. What a great day in Darlington.
Oh, really? Alright, so looking at Truex right now. Yeah, and that was his 2017 throwback.
15 laps complete. Our aerial coverage is provided by Goodyear. Oh, cool shot. Powering the race from green to checkered flag and every mile in between. Goodyear, more driven. 16 complete. Martin Truex has led all but the first lap, which was led by Bubba Wallace. They have about 5 seconds on the field so far. And joining us in the booth after completing his duties as one of NASCAR's 75 greatest drivers of all time is the King, Richard Petty. Welcome back.
They're back here. There you go again.
But they wouldn't let you drive the pace lap.
No, they've seen me in action before.
Yeah. Well, we couldn't get him off the racetrack.
That's right. We had the black flag. We had the black flag.
That was a fun time, man.
Yeah, that was. When you were 13 years old, Kyle was talking earlier, what are your memories of coming here for the first time? What was this place like, a super speedway?
Man, it was humongous at the time. You know, when you're in Bowman Gray, Martinsville, and you come here, you know, a little over a mile track there, it was just unreal. All the stuff that you see here wasn't here except the racetrack.
So as a boy, you played in the infield, Kyle played in the infield.
Yeah.
Then you got to go racing.
They didn't play.
Working in the car?
No, when I was 13 years old, I was in a pit.
Yeah.
Working.
Yeah.
Well, I was in a pit.
What was it like the first time you came here to drive?
It was just great. You know, it was just a one groove track through this corner up here. I really loved the racetrack. It never was really good to me, but I loved to run down here because of the challenge of two different corners.
I want to ask you, did the track change a lot from the first time you drove it to the last year you drove in '92? The cars changed a lot, but did the track ever change?
The track changed because they changed the 1 and 2 corner now.
Okay.
Yeah. It used to be 3 and 4.
Yeah.
They changed that corner, but it still drove basically the same way.
Take me back to this car. Kyle's been telling us, he said don't ask, I'm asking. That's what I do. They said it's got a vinyl top on it. Maybe that was a bad idea back then?
It was painted.
Oh, yeah.
But he didn't paint, no, when you brought a vinyl top, true vinyl top
He
car.
don't know why it came up.
Well,
Went too fast.
What happened, we cut the top of the roof and stuff and set the roll bar up in it, and we didn't weld the top back down to the roll bar.
There's your answer. There's your answer.
So it was the roof, the steel roof that came up.
The roof come out.
Chevy
They
logos
was paint on
I
the roof.
didn't know that.
on
Well, I'll tell you
Kyle
what.
Larson.
Your car's pretty good. That 43 looks good out here today.
Yeah.
We're going to find out. We got a long way to go, baby.
Well, Eric Jones has gained 6 spots. Nobody else has gained more than 4 since the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, I know that. So I seen when they started, everybody just got in line. Right now, I think they're just feeling themselves out, feeling the car out. Just see what they've got to race with.
21 laps complete. Martin Truex has been out front all but lap 1 so far. Let's check with Larry and get a look at the Brez Tree race strategy for today.
Well, Mike, it's pretty simple, the first element. It's 4 tires every trip to pit road, even if you just run maybe 8, 10, 12 laps. Possibly looking at splitting all 3 stages in half, maybe coming a little bit early before that halfway mark to get a jump on the competition with those 4 fresh tires. And depending on tire fall off, and I've already seen all I need to see, it is substantial. And how your car's driving, we're probably going to maybe split that final, that longer stage into thirds. Because remember this also, we have to keep a count on it. Only 11 sets of tires, 10 stickers, and the qualifiers from yesterday.
Yeah, every lap, especially early in the race. Great point, Larry. These guys, all these crew chiefs, those decisions get easier because these cautions this race is going green lap after lap after lap here 23 laps in. You don't want early cautions. That puts the pressure on you later on in the race.
Looking at 14th place, Joey Logano for Team Penske, using the paint scheme that Roger Penske used on an AMC Javelin to win the 71 Trans Am Championship with Mark Donohue and to win Team Penske's first ever NASCAR victory in the AMC Matador, also driven by Mark Donohue. Can you remember that Matador? We called that thing the Brick, and it was.
Okay, here's what we're talking to you. Yeah, here's what I want to know. At home, you sit on the couch and eat popcorn and watch the race on TV, follow it on computer. First thing we did after we got through talking over here, you stood up and looked out the window like there was a real race going on. What's up with that?
I didn't have a TV in front of me,
Okay, I got
so I had to look at the real race.
Yeah, but then when we're trying to talk to you, staring at the monitor.
Remember the Matador, the car we called the Brick?
Red, white, and blue. It makes you right.
It's pretty easy to spot up there.
I'll tell you what, just up from him, Harrison Burton, you see that throwback to his daddy, Jeff Burton, one of the 75 greatest drivers. On the pretty wheel. Good run for Harrison Burton, 13th right now for the Wood Brothers car.
Had a really strong
Crash
qualifier.
Friendly Racing.
You and I both commented. I thought he was going to be in that top 5 and make it to the final round. That 11 just didn't hold up, but I thought it was.
Burton at 13th.
Yeah, I'm just so sick and tired of looking at fake logos and everything. They should have had XI batteries on the 21 car. How we would remember it.
We'll follow up on that when we come back to Darlington. 26 laps complete.
Two Dale Jarrett throwbacks. Stenhouse and Chastain. There goes Chastain.
Green flag laps complete. Martin Truex led all but the first. Kyle Larson took him a while, but he got past Tyler Reddick for 10th place. Ross Chastain has moved up from Denny Hamlin. Chastain's climbed all the way back up to 5th, which is where he started the race. So Truex, Wallace, Byron, Suarez, and Chastain. Traffic becoming quite a factor for the race leaders now.
Well, so much factor that second place car, Bubba Wallace, is running down there. And Truex almost got the fence. Right in the middle of 3 and 4. There you saw the fall off. A lot of fall off out here. Slipping and sliding around. Sun is out. This cloud cover's burnt through. Sun's burnt through the clouds. And, man, it's got these guys slipping and sliding around, especially on these old tires. This Chastain is coming. The one car passing Stenhouse Jr.
And the one thing you're seeing here, as he passes Stenhouse Jr., we saw it earlier when he passed Denny Hamlin. They get out of the way a little bit. They know racing at this point in time, this many laps on the tire is going to slow them both down. And everybody's going to catch up.
Richard, great point. That's something that probably hasn't changed over the years. You have to race this racetrack, manage their tires.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do is race the racetrack. Forget about the rest of the cars. Get your car in it, get you a groove, and find out where you are beating somebody else. The racetrack did it better.
I'll tell you somebody that's out of the groove. It's this 11 car. Denny Hamlin struggling, falling back quite a bit. These two right here, the 5 and the 45, have been at it too.
And they go underneath Denny Hamlin. Now, the biggest movers in this race, Kyle Busch +5, Ryan Preece +6, and Jamie Eric Jones +7.
Yes, and it's very fitting with the pennies in the booth to talk about the 43 Eric Jones. It was a rough Saturday for this team all around. Not only did they miss the balance, but their driver was under the weather. Eric told us that he had to go home last night, had to get some fluids, but he's feeling much better today. They adjusted on that race car, and he's up 8 spots right now. So going in the right direction, Reagan.
William Byron up 1 spot from where he started to the 3rd position, but we were to the part of the run right now where the team had a little bit of concern. They told me earlier today
something should have happened. I think.
They needed it to be a better long run race car though than what it was yesterday in practice. They made some changes overnight. Right now, William Byron has been keeping the team updated every 5 laps, and his speed is looking very good as we get to the end of this run.
Byron in 3rd. He has erased 2 of the 4-second deficit to the leader since we dropped the green flag. Jamie on the 11th.
Denny Hamlin's fallen back 4 spots. He just came on the radio. Clint, when you were talking about something going on with him, he might have a right front flat. You're trying to make it 5 more laps to come in. Keeping an eye on that 11 right there.
So there you go, Larry. There's a strategy. They're going to caution. Some possible fluid on the racetrack. Haven't really heard where yet, but that's just what the doctor ordered for 11. Denny Hamlin needed that caution.
So, Larry, why would they have wanted to stay out 5 more laps if they thought that time was there?
They were doing their best, Mike, to try to, as I said earlier, trying to split the stage in half. Maybe come just a little early, but you don't want to make that second run in the stage too long on tires. That's why Chris Gabehart wanted to go a few more laps.
And here's some audio from Team 11.
My car took off on the turn 2 and then just, absolutely destroyed the fence in green. Out of the blue. Yeah, I think they just started talking about fluid on his channel that we heard, and this will talking about fluid, so.
Well, that would answer the question in Denny's voice. You heard him. Don't understand it. Took off the 2 and then went down and smoked the fence in 3 and 4. Unfortunate. Doesn't matter. It's happened. Now, what do you do? How do you fix this thing? Got to worry about a tow link. Got to worry about the damage on this car.
But isn't that typical? The car takes off toward the fence, and the first thing you think of, it's the car's fault. Something's wrong with the car. You don't think the racetrack.
And that is automatic. You say, okay, what if I got a flat tire or it's going down?
Pit road strategy you're looking at.
The tire's okay, then you look for the oil.
Well, here they come, Larry.
Regan?
Like Kyle Busch, very good at the start of the race right here. Just told the guys the balance was good. It was just starting to get fun. He's up 7 spots as the race has begun. And the 24, William Byron, happy with the balance of that race car. It starts off tight, but it ends the long runs good. No changes for him. Jamie?
Bubba Wallace just wants to be tightened up on entry. They told him that was great. That was a run. We were ready to come in and hit anyway. So we'll tighten them up before tires stop here. Martin Truex Jr. just wants that rear grip to stick with them a little bit longer. First pole for Martin Truex Jr. ever at Darlington. So far, so good.
Here's a race off pit road, sponsored by Ram. Truex holds position. Byron up 1. Suarez and Stenhouse up 2. Harrison Burton, the Wood brothers, pick up 3 spots on pit road.
There you go.
First caution of the day in Darlington. Since he did it. Saturday, the USFL kicks off at 4 Eastern on Fox. Defending champion Birmingham Stallions take on the Michigan Panthers. Then next Sunday at noon Eastern, the New Orleans Breakers battle the Philadelphia Stars on FS1. And rounding out the weekend, the Jersey Generals against the Houston Gamblers, 4 p.m. on Fox. Working the first caution of the day for fluid on the racetrack in the Goodyear 400 at Darlington. Now that is a Darlington stripe. You'll see it on the wall, but you see it on these cars. And when it happens there on the right rear, the part of that suspension that is most vulnerable is the toe length. Let's take a closer look.
I think that's being demonstrated on Brennan Poole's number 15, maybe.
We hear about cars having a bent rear toe link. So let's go to our Toyota Tech Center, take a look at our Toyota Cutaway car, and show you exactly where the rear toe link is located. Remember, this next-gen car has independent rear suspension. There's one on the left rear and the right rear. It's almost like a mini tie rod. You have to take 2 bolts out and replace that toe link to put those 2 bolts in. Sometimes it's bent so bad, Mike, you have to take a torch and cut it out. But you know what? All in all, pretty easy to change.
Thanks, Larry. I guess something has to be the weakest link, and it might as well be whatever's easiest to change.
It ain't the wall, baby.
Right.
That's a good point. And I think that's a, I don't know if that was by design, but I think it's a great thing that it's the easiest thing to change. Those guys can get in there, change it, and never lose a lap sometimes along the turn of caution.
It doesn't take them out of the race. And that's the thing. I think that's part of what NASCAR designed into the car. You can get in here, you can change it, and get back going.
Kyle Busch will be fifth on this restart.
Anybody can help you. You just need to run it back just a hair. Yeah, I mean, believe it or not, I don't think I've ever pitted my box before, so just get used to the coming in of it. It's all NASCAR runway to get there. So we'll be all right.
All right, look at your front 5 there. Ross Chastain, an 8.4-second stop. We'll have a restart in the spot. Truex choose the outside on William Byron. And one of the top 5 you won't see up there is Daniel Suarez. He was too fast exiting his pit and will restart him back.
I'll tell you another one, you're going to have to look way back to 5. Where was he at? He went from 8th to 24th on that pit stop right there. Big time problems for the 5 of Kyle Larson.
I found it interesting listening to Kyle Busch's radio, where he was talking about, I've never pitted there before. I've never pitted in that place before.
Here it is. Let's see what happens. Oh, Jack, it fell off Jack. Have to go back and jack it back up. 17-second pit stop. That'll do it.
Not only did Jack then have to lift it, he also then had to position the right front tire. Took a long time. Ready for the restart. 42 laps complete. 48 to go in stage 1.
Up here from something.
Truex, William Byron on the inside does not fire off quite as well. Now he's got a battle bubble loss.
Still hard for me to figure out all these cars and the schemes. You've got a Gordon racing for second. You got a Jared out there. You got John Force out there. Richard Petty's on the racetrack. These schemes are awesome. Watch it.
And the Washington Redskins for Ty Gibbs.
There goes
Gibbs. You saw Matt Kenseth go by.
Christopher Bell. Good looking paint schemes out here. Such a neat weekend to throw back to all of our legends of the sport. Kyle underneath Chastain. Here comes Keselowski. Great weekend going for Keselowski. A lot of optimism coming into this weekend. Our best Ford so far coming out of that RFK bunch.
Good to see you. Yeah, we talked about it, and listen, we talked about it in that first segment. You got to get everything you can on these restarts. We see it week in and week out. These guys are just overly aggressive on restarts trying to get it. So no matter what you think your car is going to do in 10 or 15 laps, you feel more comfortable jumping up into 4th or 5th and dropping back to 5th or 6th and gaining those positions early.
Yeah, you want somebody to pass you instead of
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You saw Bell on the bottom of that black and yellow car. He is gaining some ground on the inside. Up to 16. Make that 15th now. And now, he's carrying the in-car camera dedicated to Peter Larson, who brought the tilt and pannable in-car camera to NASCAR from Australia back in 1981. He and John Porter formed the company PSI, and Peter just retired this week after giving us 40 years of being right there alongside the driver like nobody had ever done before. And for everything he has done for our industry, that's Peter on the right, and some of the early cameras and later ones there on the shot. He has definitely changed the way you enjoy auto racing at home. Congratulations on a great career.
Listen, he's changed the way I enjoy auto racing at home. When we sit at home and watch it, sit at my dad's house or wherever, when you see it, you get a different perspective, and it's a perspective that you remember from being in a race car. So it's straight up legit stuff.
Yeah, I was watching old time race, and how much the deal has improved as far as being able to cover it with all the cameras and stuff.
That's because when you raced, they used to cover it with one camera. That's it. All right.
Sometimes they didn't have a camera.
That's right. A lot of those races, early races, were not on live TV or even on film. Jamie.
Well, my reporting Danny Emlyn out of issue. What has happened is he hit that foot on the racetrack into the wall. This is the right front, the right rear, clobbering it to mount that throwback front for Goodyear right off the sidewall. The good news, though, for Denny, the steering wheel is straight, so he's continuing on right now, back in 10th position.
Okay, that tells me that totally not bent. As long as that wheel's straight, it pretty much means your aligner of the car is still intact and where it's supposed to be.
Great point. He's not having to compensate for it in the steering wheel. So the car's not dog tracking down the straightaway. It's still running in a straight line. So he should be able to recover from this. That caution was great for him. It was great at a great time for him.
Richard, watching these cars go around the racetrack, it just takes me back. You know, you get into three, tons of braking with these new cars, the momentum you carry around here, the speed, and then we have rack and pinion steering. Back in your day, you didn't even have power steering.
You didn't have power steering. You turned, almost a full round just to get through the corner.
Can't imagine that.
Now they made the thing, maybe a fence more as far as it goes. So steering is so much better, and really the cars are so much better. As far as that part of it, it's just harder to set these cars up than what those time cars.
We watched the communication, the chemistry, right, between the drivers and the crew chiefs, Dale Inman and yourself, together so many years. That trust factor, the belief in one another. Man, what a story.
We were the computer.
Yeah.
I tell Dale what it was doing, and Dale figured out what to do to make it work. So, that was our computer.
The trust you guys had in one another, the belief, right?
Now I believe in everything he did. He pretty much believed in what I did. And most of the time we got the shot.
For a lot of years.
And 7 championships together.
Yeah.
7 Daytona 500s, 200 victories.
Watching these guys, we're coming off a weekend. We've seen some scuffles, right? Seen some throws, some haymakers, if you will, after the races and stuff. Who was your worst competitor? Which one did you not get along with the most?
One that didn't get along with?
Yeah.
I got along with everybody. Sometimes they didn't get along with me.
I'm not letting you off that easy. There had to have been one of them that got under your skin.
I am going to tell you this. I've seen the man numerous times. I have felt it. He's got the longest pointer finger you've ever seen. When he starts pointing in your chest and I saw him talk to Bobby. I saw him talk to Earnhardt. I saw him talk to Darrell numerous times. And all these guys have the same story. When that finger comes out and starts pointing at you, you pay attention.
I didn't wreck him, but I wrecked one of his cars, and I got that finger. That was right in the chest bone.
I I don't mind if you beat on the drivers, just don't beat on the car.
That's it. That's it. That answers your question about the scuffle last week.
Now that's what Larry Mack would tell you, just the opposite. You guys go out behind the barn and take care of things. Don't be wrecked by race cars.
Yeah.
There's
Last
two
week
I was talking about.
Yeah, they are. You know what? But there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with the emotion that goes on in these cars. And these guys confront each other. I like that. I like to see that passion. I like to see Ross's passion. I like to see Noah's passion. We've seen it so many times in the sport. You don't want it to come to where it overshadows what the race is. The sport is about racing. The sport's about going out there competing against each other and putting it all on the line. And here's two competitors we're watching right now that put it all on the line. They didn't agree with the same line they put it on, but at least they put it all out there.
And the two fellas that jumped in didn't just happen to be there. They are NASCAR security, plainclothes security, and they were right there in case things got.
I saw it down there pre-race, and I said, man, couldn't you just like slip just a little bit for like 10 seconds or something? Just
Maybe more
just
interesting.
tripped accidentally, so I'll be with you in a second. Come on.
Talking about your competitors and stuff. Pearson was always good here. Pearson was always incredible here. Terry Labonte was always good here. There's so many guys that just kind of latched onto it.
Allison was good.
Allison was good. When we first started, and I first started racing, tell me how to pass somebody here, because it was a momentum track back when you drove. Even though you guys had unlimited horsepower, no downforce, all that. Tell me how you passed somebody.
Well, you found out where you needed to speed to hit, and you didn't just follow it right in the corner. And you know, New York aspect, you found his weakest place, you got back to your running start and passed him at his weakest place.
So even then, you had to get a run. You couldn't just run a little bit past him.
Yeah, even though we didn't know nothing about traffic, it's still you had to get a running start.
58 laps complete in Darlington. Martin Truex still out front. Bubba Wallace 1 second back. William Byron 2.3, and Kyle Busch 3 seconds off the lead.
Watch racing with? Well, you need to try it first. You're watching NASCAR on Fox.
Show time. Show.
Martin Truex continues to lead the Goodyear 400 after 64 laps. While second place, Bubba Wallace has run more laps in the top 5 today than in his prior 9 starts here combined. He's the second place car with William Byron in third. Kyle Busch and Ross Chastain in the top 5. Now here is the fall off in lap times since the pit stop as these tires wear. Very nice.
Yeah, Mike, I'm able to look at miles per hour all the way around this mile and third track. And we've been kind of tracking Martin Truex Jr. What we did, we looked at his miles per hour at the end of that first run. And the first couple laps of this run right here, and he's on into a run, he's 8 to 10 miles per hour slower at the end of those straightaways than on fresh tires. In the middle of the corner, 14 to 16 miles per hour slower.
Wow. That is loud, man. Well, he has the Xfinity fastest lap of the race at 166.9 miles an hour. Truex says. Wallace second, Byron third. Now, Kyle Busch didn't set his fastest lap of the race till lap 46. Everybody else did it in the first 4 laps of the race.
That's all right.
Yeah, the car would be better after they made adjustments after the pit stop. He comes out firing, and he's faster.
I think proof's in the pudding. I think Danny's fine. You know, he's holding steady right there, right outside the top 10 and 11. Here's Harvick right on board with him at that driver's side. Behind him as well.
This is a typical Danny race. He just hovers there around the top 10 in the first segment. He moves up a little bit in the second, and then you've got to contend with him at the end. We saw it practice yesterday. He and Truex and maybe Larson, those 2 or 3 guys, put up the best long-term speed.
Kevin Harvick just flew right by Denny Hamlin up in turn number 2.
You know, he used the term flew right by. and no, and I'm going to say, at Darlington, a lot of time it's got let by. Somebody let me by. Because you don't want to race that much.
All right, 21 laps to go.
You race the racetrack, so don't slow yourself down racing other people.
That's the key. What you just said. When you're racing door to door here, it slows both of you down drastically back. You get that pass made because that's more efficient for both parties. You better get it sorted out quick, or then whoever you pass before you, that's right. The last guy is the best you know.
It's better to run behind somebody even though you never pass them than you try to race with it that fast.
Yeah, here, especially here.
Time lost, scrubbing tire off of it because you're asking more out of the car than you're on the wheel. All that stuff is a detriment to the cause.
Joey Logano has run right around 20th place.
All right, 5th place.
Yeah, Mike, it's been a slow start for that 22 car. Of course, the winner of this race 1 year ago. Team was a little concerned when I talked to Paul Wolf this morning about this race car. It was very loose in practice. In qualifying, it went very tight. They weren't really sure why. They felt like they would have a tighter race car than they did. Right now in the race, tight in traffic and loose off and struggle to move forward. J-Lo?
And Chase Elliott, when it comes to qualifying this season since he returned from that broken leg, it's been a struggle, and that was the same yesterday. They qualified 21st. Team told me just overdrove it. As of now, Chase told his team it's not as bad as it looks. I just can't push early, but as we run, it gets better.
What the
Chase,
hell?
this paint scheme right here, a throwback to his dad, Phil Elliott's scheme back in 2003. And yesterday, Chase told me it is this scheme when I was 8 years old that made me become a race car driver. He was all smiles driving this car. Right?
Bill will join us during stage 3 of today's race.
Absolutely awesome.
I think
it's
he
going to be
would.
awesome. But it's going to be literally awesome. I tell you what, this is the time where it starts to heat up. Just like we saw before that caution came out, Truex, your leader, fixing to get into this race.
Truex.
Really slowed him down, enabling Bubba Wallace, William Byron, Kyle Busch to get on him. Chastain's a good long-run car. Keep an eye on this battle as they approach this lap traffic. That's when you're going to be forced off of your line to make those passes.
And leaving your line with tires that have 20 or 30 laps on them, and knowing there's somebody coming. So there is pressure on Truex. Even though he's out there running in clean air, running at his own pace, as he catches that traffic, he knows he has to deal with it quickly so that they don't catch up from behind.
The difference right now is that at this point, Martin Truex has a 3-second lead on Bubba Wallace During the first green flag run of this race, he was only about a second and a half in front of all swing flag traffic.
See right there ahead of Harvick, Harrison Burton, that 21 Wood Brothers car. Legendary car, legendary race here at Darlington. That kid's holding pretty wheel. A good attaboy for him. Good confidence booster running with these guys.
Excuse me. They had two of their vintage cars here earlier. Leonard Wood drove one around the track, and Ricky drove the other. That's cool. 75 laps complete. Martin Truex in control of the Goodyear 400 at Darlington as we go side by side.
All right.
10 laps to go in stage one at Darlington. Here's an update on the Coca-Cola Racing family. Danny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, right together, also and Joey Logano, and then Daniel Suarez having to overcome a speeding penalty. He was a top 5 car in the first green flag run of this race. As you saw, William Byron got past Bubba Wallace for second place. Martin Truex holding a 4.5 second lead and working race traffic. I don't know about Chris Buescher there. And there's the gap. Byron with that DuPont Chrome Illusion wrap paint scheme, reminiscent of when Jeff Gordon carried the 50th anniversary of NASCAR logo on the number 24.
Such a good looking car. There's so many good throwback cars here that really capture the essence of what the original car was. I think it gets better and better every year.
Changed the logo on the hood, and of course the company name changed. That's about it.
Good looking cars. Saw Jeff down there, part of the 75th anniversary, top 75 drivers. Big smile on his face. Happy to be down there with those legends.
So 8 to go in stage one. Richard and Kyle Petty with us till the end of the stage. And I've always wondered, since we've never had the two of you together in the booth, which was more difficult, Richard, when you were starting out in racing driving for your father, or when Kyle was starting out driving for you? Which was tougher?
That's easy. Yeah.
What?
Kyle driving,
That's what he said when he took me to Daytona. You want to drive?
That was your first race, though, right?
That was my
The first thing you drove was Daytona.
First racetrack he'd ever been on.
Why did you think that was a good idea, Richard? That's the fastest track we go to.
Yeah. That's what he needed to do, learn speed, man. That's what this racing's all about.
Let's learn the hard way.
It was here or Darlington. Daytona or Darlington. Where do you want to go?
So the King gives you and your high school buddies a leftover Dodge Magnum to run on the ARCA 200.
Yeah, and Steve Mill was big, and Dale and Wade and everybody at the shop. We put the thing together. Hauled it down there on Clyde. Clyde kept vapor locking. We had a truck called Clyde that kept vapor locking. We kept having to pump fuel out of the race car to put it in the carburetor to get it down there. Got down there, went down there and won the race. Crazy thing.
How about your first?
Yeah.
When they tossed you the keys, when your daddy did it to you?
First race I run was in Columbia, South Carolina, dirt track. And I've never been on a race track.
Was that the first time you drove? Did you practice or just straight to the race?
It was dirt. And me and Dale and another boy went, took the car down to Columbia. And it was a slick dirt that wore out tires. And I wound up sixth, I think, in the race, a couple of laps down. So I was tickled to death, man.
Yeah.
Come back up the road, and I've been working on the cars and all that. Come back up the road and I told Dale, I might like this racing. You know, it's better than working on the car.
That was a really good idea, by the way. Really, really good idea.
Yeah, worked well. Great career move for Stock Car Racing's all-time winner, Richard Petty, and his son Kyle. Thrilled to have them with us here during Stage 1 at Darlington. Martin Truex trying to close out Stage 1. He has not won a stage in the last 28 races.
In case you're wondering,
since he swept the
if you've
stages
seen
at
some
New
of my
Hampshire.
previous videos,
Martin
either on
Truex
YouTube or
10.7
Twitch,
green and white
I
checkers.
drove the Project
Truex,
91
he's
version.
definitely the car to beat, but I'm telling you, somebody that's entering this conversation is this Ross Chastain in the one car. Very fast, starting to get close to Wallace. Look at this battle. Heating up. Wow. Harrison having a little bit of gearbox trouble. I'm hearing about having to keep it in fifth gear. You see Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin having it on him. That's going to be a problem for Harrison Burton, especially when you get into traffic. Going to need that downshift in the fourth. Hopefully they can remedy that problem, but it probably doesn't look good, Kyle.
Yeah, it doesn't look good, and that's a perfect example. You saw Hamlin run up on the back of Harrison, have to slow down, and Larson took advantage of it and got around it.
Let's hope you can get to on and off pit road okay. Now here's Daniel Suarez trying to stay on the lead lap with 2 to go in Stage 1.
Look at the difference one mistake makes in this Cup Series. Had a speeding penalty on that running fourth. Speeding penalty, now he's trying to hold on to the lead lap. Unbelievable.
That's how fickle racing is and how crazy it is. You put me at the front of the pack, I can run the
Something's
race,
happening.
I'm just there.
Race for third on your right as we're in the final lap of Stage 1. Martin Truex has led all but lap 1 of this race. William Byron 1.7 seconds back. Remember when stage racing began and Martin Truex made a point of gathering up all the stage wins and stage points he could. This will add to his all-time lead of stage race wins as they come off turn number 4. Green and white checkers will be in the air for Martin Truex, picking up his 57th career stage win. Wallace holds off Chastain for third, Byron second, Kyle Busch, Keselowski, Stenhouse, Harvick, Reddick, and Christopher Bell pick up the stage points in Stage 1. Thanks to Richard and Kyle Petty for joining us for this great stage in Darlington. There's Martin Truex, your Stage 1 winner.
Visit pitshopgear.com to place your bid on the limited edition hat auction for the #1 of 400 limited edition hats for the Goodyear 400. The auction is live now and runs through Monday, May 15th until 8 o'clock Eastern Time. You can scan the QR code on NASCAR TV right now for more information. So when pit road does open, we will see pit stops for these drivers. Check in now with Michael Morgan.
Stage 1 is in the books. Time for our Credit One Bank ones to watch. Who are you looking at?
I'm looking at Chastain. I think right now the obvious is Martin Truex Jr. out there in the lead, but this Chastain is coming and coming in a hurry. Ross Chastain all the way.
William Byron has just kind of methodically made his way right up into contention behind Martin Truex. Finishes up this first stage in second spot. I'm going to keep an eye on that 24. I mean, Jeff Gordon, you know, he got honored today. So
I like that. I can get around that.
All right, Larry Mack and Jamie.
Yeah, Mike, I went back a little bit deeper inside the top 10. Christopher Bell had never had a top 10 in Darlington until last year. We know how many top 10s he's had this year. Qualified 16th, and on that last restart until the end of stage 1, made up 10 positions to get inside the top 10.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Eric Jones. I know he started off the weekend with a little bit of a stomach bug, but started in 28th.
Stage in second spot. I'm going to keep an eye on that 24. I mean, Jeff Gordon, you know, he got honored today. So
I like that. I can get around that.
All right, Larry Mack and Jamie.
Yeah, Mike, I went back a little bit deeper inside the top 10. Christopher Bell had never had a top 10 in Darlington until last year. We know how many top 10s he's had this year. Qualified 16th, and on that last restart until the end of stage 1, made up 10 positions to get inside the top 10.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Eric Jones. I know he started off the weekend with a little bit of a stomach bug, but started in 28th. He's up to 16th. He's won at Darlington twice before in the Southern 500. I think he's one that you got to keep your eye on.
Those are your Credit One Bank ones to watch. Nobody picked Martin Truex because we have a no-push rule here on FS1. And
that's the obvious.
When you
right?
lead all but one lap, nobody needs to pick you.
I'm loving what I'm seeing out of Stenhouse Jr. I mean, I really thought that he would fall out of that top 10, and he's still holding steady right there in 7th. Look down the list. Harrison Burton in 11th, having gearbox issues, still right there knocking on the top 10. These are good runs for those guys. Desperately needing some good things and a good turnaround.
There is Burton. You saw him battling. He was in the top 10 for most of stage 1.
You want to talk about a rebound? I mean, this Larson, you know, you can't. He was a favorite coming out of yesterday, obvious. But he went from 8th to 24th, now back, you know, running 12th right now. Needing a better pit stop, boys. 17-second stop's not going to work. Not work.
And Kevin Harvick moved up 12 positions in that last run since the last restart, as did Eric Jones. They were the biggest movers in the second half of stage 1. Harvick all the way up into 8th place. All right, pit road is open for the lead lap cars. Regan.
Well, Kyle Busch in the 8 car trended just a little bit freer that run. Told his guys it never got loose, it never got tight, it stayed free the entire time. Wants a little bit of rear grip. And the 24 of William Byron, it was a simple answer to him. The car is pretty good, maybe just a little tight, but he does not want to adjust on it just yet.
Okay, the audio's been fixed. You can hear me. All right. And as you can tell by my Carl Edwards Aflac diecast, he's going on as one of the broadcast, as a guest broadcaster.
There's race off pit road, sponsored by Ram. Keselowski up 3, Kevin Harvick up 2, and Kyle Larson's team got him 4 spots on pit road. After the break, we'll welcome in our stage 2 guest. Boy, have we got some catching up.
Yeah, I was just talking about him.
But hot nuts, popcorn,
popcorn, bundle and save.
Nuts and popcorn and savings. Just like bundling your home and car with Geico.
Yeah, in fact, hot nuts are like home insurance. I get it. The Gecko explained it pretty clearly.
Whoa!
Hey, I know you.
Yeah, hi.
Not you. The guy who helped me bundle my home and car. He's great.
Thanks, mate. I appreciate it.
Probably thought you were somebody else.
Okay.
See how much you could save by bundling with Geico.
Time to meet your team.
Who wants to race?
Be part of something greater.
The Subway Series is getting an upgrade. The new number 19, the Pickleball Club. Who knew the Subway Series could get even better?
Me. I knew.
Maybe you should host a commercial then.
Sure, okay. Subway Series just keeps getting better.
You seriously have got to put your life on the line.
You gotta want it worse than anything else in this world.
Why would you not want to be a bull rider?
Last Cowboy Standing is taking 10 bull riders. One of them will earn the right to be the last Cowboy Standing.
It's the biggest the sport has ever been.
He can't just be good, he can be great.
You can't pass up a golden ticket when it comes up.
And it'll suck the confidence right out of you.
Live a hero, die a legend.
Still sitting on a bucket or poorly built shop stool? Aren't you tired of the discomfort and back pain caused by your lousy shop stool? The days of tiny casters and thin seats are over. Meet the Viper Chair, America's #1 shop chair, made right here in the USA. The Viper Chair glides over any surface and loose debris with 4-inch industrial-grade casters. Relieve your lower back pain with the perfectly angled backrest. Prevent tipping and improve posture with a wide, sturdy base. Viper chairs are designed for every industry. Automotive, detailing, welding, or any other project in your garage, no matter what you love to do. With an artillery of accessories, Viper is here to help you with whatever the job requires. Stop wasting your money buying cheap shop stools and get yourself a Viper chair. Handcrafted right here in America. Shop ViperIndustrial.com to save up to $200 on packages and bundles, plus free shipping on all orders. Shop ViperIndustrial.com. That's VYPER Industrial.com.
Whether it was in the 99 for Roush Racing, the famous backflip, or whether it was in...
Yes, here he is.
Nailing the Cup Series. Carl Edwards, one of NASCAR's great stars at the end of 2016, walked away to Missouri to enjoy life with your family. And where you been? We missed you.
Thank you. That means a lot. Yeah, I haven't done a backflip in a while. I definitely haven't put on makeup in a while. I forgot about that. But this is so cool for me. I've had the chance. I got to race, live my dream, go do all this fun stuff. I've been on adventures around the world, been farming a little bit, raising a family, and I'm just honored to be here today.
What does this weekend mean to you? I know Jacob Ullman tried for 3 years to get you to join us in the booth for, just for one afternoon. But how about all of this weekend and the way it all came together?
It was more special than I could have imagined. Lisa Kennedy called me, and Lisa has been so good to me. I met her early on, and she told me that I was part of this group, and it really hit home with me. I feel like I lived a dream. I got to do something that, guys like you and myself just literally dreamed about. And so it's very important for me to come back here and just show how much appreciation I have for NASCAR, all the fans, all the drivers. It's been great.
Well, we're thrilled to have you back. Because, when people are away, everybody's imagination goes rampant. And on the internet, there's the meme. One of them, about Carl and the farm.
I did have to shave before I showed up. Yeah, and I said I couldn't wear the hat. But yeah, it's no. I am the worst farmer. I will not be on the 75 greatest farmers list ever. My brother does a pretty good job, but yeah, Missouri's great. Like I said, flying a lot, having some fun with that. Been volunteering a little bit. Goodyear Rescue Company, great folks, and like I said, just enjoying life.
Well, let's get to it, because we're about to start stage 2. You did not stage race. How does this look to you?
It's interesting. I can't tell if it would be harder for me as a driver or simpler, but I can tell you this racetrack, I was so excited to be a part of this, just for a lot of reasons we talked about. So difficult. And layering the stages on top of managing tires, the balance, planning for that final stage. It's a really complex race to run up. Now you got this new Jim car shifting, Carl. Jimmy and Garland. Yeah, that was like bad if I was shifting a car. I was just backwards going on.
right, they're going to come to the Geico restart zone. Brad Keselowski up to third. The 9.2 stop, his best of the year. Bubba Wallace had a problem with the lug nut, dropped from third to 18th on that pit stop. Stage 2, here we go. Great job by Mark Truex.
Look.
Yeah, about Keselowski. You talk about Wallace having trouble, big time trouble.
Oh, thank God.
Great stop by his guys. Got a little tight off the two there, Chastain looking at his inside. Yeah, talking to Rudy Barker down in the garage a minute ago, they said on these tires with these high lows, their cars are really tough to drive through those bumps. And they're also all of everybody the arrow that is so defined behind the cars. You can see these cars get in a wake, much like a boat wake, and man, that thing takes off. You can literally see it on the screen. And I saw that at the end of the last stage when people got into traffic, the pace slowed down. I was talking to somebody in the garage about the diffuser coming up, the balance changing. All these things are what make this track so difficult. You said, my team grew up to look. Here's Bubba Wallace. Man, look at the trouble he's had. That's going to be a tough hole to dig out of. These spots are hard to come by on that racetrack. Way easier on pit road. Yeah, it looked really tough to pass anyone until the tire really fell off late in the run. Much like last weekend, once you start getting into lap traffic, forcing you out of that third group, that's when it got interesting, just like Kansas Speedway. And so we see guys like Ross Chastain, he really went for it here at the start. Are they still managing the tires? Is it that important here like it used to be for the first few laps? Exactly right. Yes, Ross Chastain, he's up between there. Talking about Bubba Wallace that we just saw there, door to door, slipping, sliding around. He doesn't have that affordability. Just like Suarez, he had to go. He almost went a lap down because of the pit road speeding penalty. What we saw in the first stage, Carl, was the lap times would fall off half a second in 5 laps and another half a second over the next 5 laps. Interesting, and I used to drive this place with the idea that in the first few laps, if I wasn't passing somebody, do not kill your tires because you need them later. All right, Bubba Wallace trying to dig himself out of a hole. He's back at 18th. He restarted 19th.
We'll work on what we did. Fix it. It's in the game here.
Here is the stop. Well, he's got it tight to the wheel, but the wheel wasn't tight to the hub, so they had to raise it up again. Heads up play, though. He realized he saw it did not come off of that. That brought that Jack man back around. He saw that he was still on that wheel, knew he had a problem. We've all done that at some point in our car lives. Techno looking at say not having exactly tight, so yeah, good heads up. It's, it's hard to see that each and every meet with only one lug nut. We used to have 5 on, 5 off, or 5 off, 5 on, and with that one lug nut, we still see it because we still have those 5 dial pins that line that wheel up. Just like Mike alluded to, that lug nut was tight, but the dial pins weren't in the holes. So Truex the leader, Byron in second, and Ross Chastain in third. Jamie.
With a great car yesterday, Phil Surgeon, the crew chief, told me they were really happy with it. Minimal changes. However, they went too far on that first pit stop, so they backed off that wedge adjustment. And Phil Surgeon said, I love pitting. We have that much confidence in our pit room. Anytime we need to come today, we're going to get the job done. That's exactly what they did. Now, Ross Chastain in third spot.
We have Jarrett's here today with the UPS team. Yesterday, there was a car in the Xfinity race, all the yellow and white. Jeff Bodine hung out with them. Friday night, the truck race, there was a Mario Andretti tribute car, and Mario was here. That's unbelievable. This is so much fun to see all these guys paying tribute to the guys that made the sport, that they enjoy watching, and some of their family members. It's really cool to see. Gibbs, you worked for Joe Gibbs, Carl, and seeing that Commander's car out there, the paint scheme, pretty cool. Yeah, very cool. I got to talk to Jack Roush this morning. We were just looking at Brad Keselowski. But yeah, Joe Gibbs, Jack Roush, the guys who made my life, made my NASCAR career. A tribute to Joe Gibbs, and that's really special. Now, I know they're the Commanders. Really like calling the Redskins car because Ty's grandfather, who coached the Commanders, he coached the Redskins. So, all right, I think that's fair. Now, I want to go back to one thing that I heard Bubba Wallace say. He said, hey, a long race. I think that's the key, to really think about that race, how long it is. Don't beat yourself. Don't get frustrated. I only went here after being 2 laps down.
And that is the key, is to just settle and make it what you get. I mean, they're all hot right now. The cars are probably driving terribly. It's really hard to do. So look back to last weekend. I mean, you really don't have to look any further than last weekend in Kansas Speedway. Kyle Larson, his wreck off the floor, 5 laps in, leading the race. His teammate, William Hart, 2 laps down, like you said, down and out because of the cautions and everything that started coming. They get back to the lead. One of them, methodically, the 5-car drove up to the field of the green because of all those cautions. William Hart was able to capitalize on that. Lo and behold, here they are racing for the lead, or for the win at the end. And you guys have probably talked about it a lot, but I mean, you can relate to this stuff. There's no tougher place to keep your head in the game than. Oh, yeah, that wall will swallow you up in a heartbeat. And it's so temptation. It's like, all right, well, that was a good lap. Go crew chiefs here. And hey, that's a good lap. Give me one of those. Do you think that was good? All right. Yeah. You know, that was just plain luck. The car slid right where I was. I was sitting on the gas, and I didn't right. Man, it's tough to balance aggression and consistency.
So here's Westchester closing on second place, William Byron. Regan?
Well, right now the track things have been good for William Byron so far today, but the driver just came up to report. Remember, it's very important. Take a listen to what he had to say.
That's not a good sound there, bro. I'm not in this booth. Okay, those cars, folks, those guys are in there literally wrestling these race cars. Their arms are just stopping in the middle of 1 and 2 while they're trying to slide around these tires. And, you know, if that helmet goes off, it's got to be toasty.
110 laps complete. We're 20 laps into the 95 lap stage 2. With Martin Truex out in front for 109 of these 110 laps.
And one more. I think we got it.
Yeah, let's focus on the RV.
RV?
Hey, everybody, look at the RV and smile.
This is what you want for your family portrait?
Good point. We bundled the boat with our home and auto first. Hey, team, get out in here.
Team? Oh. Fun.
Now everyone say 24/7 financial protection with Progressive. 24/7 financial protection with Progressive.
Okay, let's get some singles in the on the back.
I got a heart full of trouble. It's been dug through the mud.
Ram Motors have heart for being fearless, determined, and bold. That's why it's time for you to be a Ram.
Now during Ram season, get 10% below MSRP on the 2023 Ram 1500.
For COPD, ask your doctor about Breztri. Breztri gives you better breathing, symptom improvement, and helps prevent flare-ups.
Breztri won't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden breathing problems. It is not for asthma. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. Don't take Breztri more than prescribed. Breztri may increase your risk of thrush, pneumonia, and osteoporosis. Call your doctor if worsened breathing, chest pain, mouth or tongue swelling, problems urinating, vision changes, or eye pain occur.
If you have COPD, ask your doctor about Breztri.
The science of shine. Lightning fast with ultra durable, super hydrophobic results. Mothers see your next line of car care products. The advanced science of shine.
Arby's 2 for $4 bourbon barbecue sliders combine the best of authentic barbecue. Meats, pickle, sauce, lot of napkins, countertop, cowboy hat. Arby's, we have the meats.
It's not about the cars, speed, the action. It's not about the party or the long weekend. It's about them. The ones that gave everything. This Memorial Day weekend, we honor the fallen at America's Home for Racing. The 64th running of the Coca-Cola 600.
Just want to wish Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, especially my mother. She can't be here this weekend, but we got her grilled cheese recipe right along with us.
I just wanted to wish all the moms, my wife Kelly, my mom was the happiest Mother's Day. I appreciate everything you guys.
Well, Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, but especially my mom. I literally wouldn't be here without you, so thank you for everything. Wish Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, specifically my mom Jamie and my wife Marissa.
So happy Mother's Day, Dave, who raised our two kids while I was off at the races. To all the moms out there, happy Mother's Day. We are 117 laps in at Darlington. 27 out of 95 here in Stage 2. Mike Shortman, Carl Edwards, joining us for Stage 2 at the track 2 today.
This doesn't work without them moms. Happy Mother's Day, Mama. Lord, them moms out there. So, you brought your mom? Haven't seen her in a long time. Great to see her. And she was so excited to come. And Kate, she does such a good job raising our kids. I'm very fortunate to be surrounded by great moms.
We're all pretty blessed.
Yes, you bet. And it's heating up here on the track, folks. It looks like people are struggling. There's people that are overheated. It looks like somebody might be getting loose into 3 every once in a while. And here you are.
Well, then you got Kyle. You got Chris Bell looking on the inside of Kyle, Larson on the outside of him. That car's bouncing back, Paul.
I don't know if you were here in first stage, but Kyle Larson's digging back from a slow pit stop, and then this battle right here, Chastain working on Byron for second. He's been working on for a while, and I just got to wonder what exactly the balance does as they go. Blue Barker told me that as they get into 3 later, the rear of the car will raise and get loose, and I see people diving in on into 3, but it's so hard to complete a pass yet. Maybe as the tires fall off, they'll get better. Well, it's lap traffic. Where's the opportunities? And the opportunity lies in lap traffic. Time your time. Manage your tires. Right, stay right there. Manage all this. As soon as you start getting enough lap traffic, pounce on it. Yeah. And I used to feel, as you watch these cars go into turn 1, you almost feel like your time will roll in the infield. If you wind up turns 1 and 2 here, time it all right, you come out of back straightaway just like you're shot out of a cannon. And that timing, you're exactly right, Clint. In the lap traffic, you can go better than other people.
So last week somebody hit Clint Boyer for $5,000, and if you are playing today, here is one of the Super 6 questions. Which of these drivers will have the better finish at the end of the race, and by how many positions? Right now, Kevin Harvick is in 7th, and Tyler Reddick is in 11th. So that is 4 spots. You're looking one Tyler Reddick over there to Chase Bill or one of those others.
Rolling into this weekend in Darlington, I got that wrong. I would have definitely said, Harvick and Stuart Armstrong have been struggling. I would have went with Tyler Reddick and that 45 bucks. And Kevin Harvick, just like he always does, just steady Eddie and stay right there in the hunt. And I got to think that experience really pays off here more than almost any other one that you guys go to.
Regan has more.
Well, you're so steady Eddie. Kevin Harvick in this race right now. He's moving up to 7th place. Early on, they were very loose with that race car, but they've now transitioned it. Kevin's last report, the car just a little bit tight. I saw Kevin before the race, and he had that gleam in his eye that if he had long runs today, he was going to be...
Come on, Ross.
That's the case. Jamie?
How about our Daytona 500 winner, Ricky Stenhouse Jr.? Great weekend so far. Qualified third, the best he's ever done here on Saturday. And so far, the car just a little bit tight. They made a small adjustment to help the overall grip. Russell told them, fix your entry to 3. That's where the guys ahead of you are making up some time on you. And also, his crew chief, Mike Kelly, he told me, my driver loves racing here. I love racing here. And when you have that, you have more fun, and it's easier to dial in. But this place is tough.
Stenhouse closing on Keselowski for 5th place. They're about 8.5 seconds behind the lead.
I'm impressed with Keselowski. That car is home steady. By far the best Ford Mustang we have in the field. Great job, Keselowski, so far. Yeah, like I said, Jack and Steve Goodyear both excited about his prospects today. Great crowd. Fantastic crowd.
Lap 125. All of those towels are being waved at lap 125 celebrate Goodyear's 125th anniversary as a tire company.
Very cool. Thank you, Goodyear, for everything you've done for our sport. Can I say that I don't see any free products anymore, which is really a downside to being retired, I can tell you that. Well, it probably worked for a while, Carl. You just decided never to come back. You got to at least show your face. That's how those product endorsement sponsors work. Actually, what's happening, I've got some bald tires at home, and oh, that was a little, So the one tire on the show up since 2016, it just fits for a new set of tires on a farm truck. Such a girl for stay right there.
We know we're going to do that. Yeah, so we'll work on that.
Now, unemployed, I've been tweeting. Now I see why you come back.
Well, Martin Truex has stunk up the show. He's ahead of the by 4.6 seconds. Well, pit stops on the way. I want to ride in the limit. Just never ride there. Yeah, that and the tires. Perfect. I mean.
When I started as a stunt driver, I had to create my own path. So I got in my Ford and I got to work. Literally every moment of the day, I just trained. And now I can confidently say that I'm one of the top drivers in this industry.
I remember this week, Joy, telling people that Geico's been offering savings for over 85 years. That's longer than the Buffalo Wing's been around.
Dozen wings.
And did you know that Geico offers motorcycle insurance? My lips are burning. No, my lips are actually burning.
Geico. Over 85 years of savings and service. See how much you can save at geico.com.
It's too hot. Oh, this is too hot, mate. I need to try it first.
Get crafts, sporting goods, restaurants, and the future of NASCAR all from your neighborhood. DoorDash.
For the best of the best. Return to one of NASCAR's most historic tracks. North Carolina, baby. With an uphill backstretch and downhill front stretch. Especially with $1 million on the line. What would you do for $1 million? What would that be? I'm bringing the 29 back. Be ready. I'll be ready. Will you? The All-Star Race next Sunday on FS1. Week 6 USFL action heats up this weekend on Fox. 131 laps complete at Darlington in the Goodyear 400. 42 laps out of 95 now in stage 2. We're going to start looking at green flag stops here, Carl. One of the hardest tracks in the NASCAR circuit to get on the pit road.
Yes, absolutely. You come down here into turn 3 fast, your tires are greasy. You think it's slick up on the racetrack, then you pull down the apron. It's like half the grip. And it's really easy to mess that up.
And there's markers, right? 3, 2, 1 markers down there to help you, assist you, but it catches you off guard every single time. You think you've got a gauge right, your speed, everything else, just like you said, you pull off that bank, you, uh-oh, I messed up. There you go. There you see those markers right there.
And that is the tightest corner in all of racing right there, trying to turn in there and not mess that up. I have been an absolute terrible offender of that.
Right on cue. Pit road opens. No, that's the first one, right? Got to try to short pit this here a little bit, trying to gain some track position. Now, he was a lead lap car running just outside the top 20.
As we watch this, he'll come out on fresher tires, and we'll have less of a gap. That'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Well, all right, the play is a short pit. Catch him, they're out here running slow lap times. He's going to be way faster, but there's still a long ways to go. That might bite you on the back after this. Gary Mack.
Yeah, Mike, really the lap you want to run to is about lap 140, which is about 6 laps from now. But I think what you're going to see here in the next 2 or 3 laps, you're going to see some start coming because remember, every lap there on fresh tires versus old tires, it's about 2 seconds a lap.
Big difference. More players. BJ McLeod has been in and on pit road. Almirola is on pit road. Great paint scheme there. It's a Dale Jr. tribute to when he carried the Major League Baseball logo. Here comes the All-Star game. Just an alien. Now again, these are cars that are not in the top 15. But trying to improve their position at the end of stage 2 by pitting early. Joey Logano in, and here's one that is 5, Kyle Larson reading.
Like Kyle Larson, been pretty good here for most of the day, other than that slow pit stop early on in the race and got back. Right now, this run, all of a sudden, the car went too tight off in turn 4. He was scratching his head just a little bit about that.
These are green flag pit stops happening, so don't get too excited.
At the time of his stop. Denny Hamlin's in, Austin Cindric to pit road.
Casey Truex still on the racetrack, your leader. He'll be coming soon. He'll have to. They drew him in.
And he started this with a 4.7-second lead over second place, so big advantage for him.
There's William Byron coming into his box. Rigging.
24, William Byron asking for adjustments for the first time all day. The car is starting to get too tight for him. He needs help. That means the front tires won't turn. And the 8-car Kyle Busch just getting looser every run. Needs some help in the rear.
Martin Truex surrenders the lead. First time he has given it up all day. They come to pit road. Chastain staying out will be the new leader. Cheers Chastain in. So a couple of those. Here's Jamie.
Ross Chastain in the line car has been pretty good. Better rear grip this run, he said. Still looking for his first win of the season. Meanwhile, the 19 had to wait on it. Martin Truex Jr. They haven't talked this weekend. James Small said, we must get the pole. This is number 1 pit box. If we want to win this race, and so far they have been perfect today.
Ryan Blaney will be leader than Bubba Wallace. As Truex exits, here comes Byron into turn 1. How's this going to play out?
I think, obviously, Byron came in, threw him in by 1 lap. He's going to narrow it up a little bit, but performance was there for both guys there. Great job.
So it was a 4.7-second gap before pit stops. Truex to Byron. Ryan Blaney throwing it back to his dad, Dave Blaney's season in the World of Outlaws, in which he won 5 races and then went on a couple of years later to be the World of Outlaws champion. There is Dave Blaney at the Moody Mile in Syracuse.
Man, that was a cool race car.
First year that he drove for Casey Lumen, so that season. So Blaney the leader. Wallace 4.5 back. Then Daniel Suarez, who recovers from that speeding penalty. We'll see how it plays out as this round of green flag stops continues.
Well, I think the advantage went to Larson. Larson's the one that picked up, utilized that green flag stop.
There's the comparison. Truex a little quicker on pit road. Larson stopped much better.
But I think that's exactly why you saw kind of a, even performance on the green flag stop there. Byron did close the gap, if I'm not mistaken.
And Blaney will pit. And surrender the lead after being out front for 3 circuits. Wallace will. Another cycle Truex back to the lead. And now he and Byron are only 2.5 apart. So William Byron, by coming in a lap earlier, picked up, 7 seconds on Truex.
But I showed you, this is the advantage right there, Carl. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. You got to be careful, but that can also bite you on the backside of these runs. Right, and we'll see how that plays out on the backside of the run, especially a long one like this. You'll need more traffic. So if you're crafty, you get lucky, maybe you don't lose that advantage in the game. That's where the chess match is. It's a game. All right, short pit, I can help you on the front side, but the back side, you might be in heavy traffic on older tires. That'll leave you bite you worse. But Byron likes it right now.
So Truex back to the lead. He's only won 1 of the last 6 races in which he's got 100 laps or more, but it happened right here at this race 2 years ago.
Exactly.
We've come a long way in 125 years. From dirt track to super speedway and every track in between. Never back and fast. Pushing boundaries and giving them everything they got. Yeah, we've come a long way. There's still a lot more road to run. Goodyear, the official power in NASCAR.
The Doritos Cool Ranch Papadilla. It's the best ice
idea ever. Oh, come on. The Doritos Cool Ranch Papadilla was my idea. I did that. Don't play yourself.
The Doritos Cool Ranch Papadilla.
Genius.
With Armor All stain repelling technology, it's easy to everyday proof your car. No matter how tough the job is. Armor All technology. Less work, more clean.
Listen. It's the U.S. versus the world.
Wonder if Instacart can tackle this number. Need pay for the debt, your is tracking and essentials. None of you was completed. Saturday savings. Visit Instacart.com or download the app to get free delivery on your first order.
To get orders here, start training in here. Introducing in reality. Game speed that use anywhere, anytime. Hands in sync with eyes. Confidence in sync with your progress. Be ready for real in reality.
It's sports fans, built a streaming service. Movies and shows, live TV, more local sports. This is your big three that crushes through.
Indigenous families and all true self detectives.
My parents got an aquasonic. It filters bad stuff out of the water. Makes it taste good, so they told me to drink more water. They also said stop using so many cups.
Now up to 50% off at aquasana.com.
Here is what must be left in the truck. And now is one of the future's SmartCraft's new truck series.
Let's bring cars and maybe it says nothing like it.
Everything you do is so fast. Racing obviously is dangerous.
Is that Eldora that they're advertising?
This new 5-part documentary premieres this Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, here on FS1. How about this?
All right. Let's see what happens.
As he dives underneath her.
It's getting closer. Getting closer.
Good guys have been working on this.
Insurance is getting tired. Seeing it almost knock the wall down there, had to lift. But once looking underneath us because of that. Plus, Jazz Dave is doing what nobody has been able to do all day. Pass Martin Truex. He hasn't got long yet. This gets pretty tight right over here. Way tight.
He's got him. He's got him.
You see him whipping out the gas again.
He's in the lead.
Yeah, it's high-handed. She likes what she sees.
Should be a good time. I tell you about my sponsorship with UPS I used to have. It was spectacular. Good job, boss.
Referencing the Kentucky races, the Quaker State 400.
He ran down the different lines and I see anybody run down there and you lead group. Good job, boss.
He was my ones to watch. Really? I picked the one that did it. I picked the one. Well, you know, all right, so I retired. 2016. Jimmy Johnson retired. Tried some other forms of motorsports. You know, have you tried anything else? Done anything in that racing?
No race cars. I was talking to these Casey Painter. I said, well, it's easy enough race cars. There's stuff you like. But it's getting harder and harder. I like sliding stuff around. I like driving cars. So every time I do something, maybe some simple or something like that, to see if I can still drive. It's a step-by-step process.
I'm going to set my car up and go back racing.
I don't know. I love racing cars. I love driving cars. But I want to do that 100%. And for me to step away from the sport when I did, I got to do the things I want to do 100%. And I want to come back, I want to be able to do it all again.
You keep plugging dick in there, one more thing. I have heard legends tactics that you say this we did. We loaded across from Europe across the Atlantic. I didn't think about it. It's like the first year. Then we went back over to Europe. And as a family cruised around. And right now we're going on a sailboat. We're very excited about it. And
Has it burnt gasoline our whole entire lives? You're a fast race car, you're going to sail. I figure who is sailing right now is Chastain is struggling. You watch a field go by here. I cannot help but think this is the time where frustration is making with all these guys. Everybody is happy as playing out on the course, doing the slowest thing possible. There are some drivers that are not running as quickly as they like.
Okay, 30 laps to go in stage 2.
I think that comes, watching these race cars go around here with the confusion. That's been the very defined draft on the back of these cars, crossing that lake, like we talked about. You see them as they approach those cars, 4 or 5 cars back, picking up a massive push. How do you get out of that brake force and then at a different place on this racetrack? That's a challenge. Yeah, I'm enjoying it, but it is, that's great. They can all I do think these cars are very, very difficult to drive from what the guys have told me. You can't just muscle around, pitch the rear, and get it to turn. Ryan Newman and I talked a little bit about it. Your window's small, that diffuser changes, traffic's a bear. And I think I'm interested in this pit strategy because as we talk about all these things, I think that's going to be the key. And there's a lot to it. I think one of those keys to this racetrack is this track is a different as it rubbers down, it picks up a difference. That's a lot.
You're hoping that, I'm hoping that cautions don't come out.
Yeah, as best you can. He is 3.5 seconds now. That was Stenhouse, right behind him. And Larson closing on Kyle Busch. Okay, now we talk about 19, the leader of the race. Very easy to be on the lead of this race and get complacent and not make those adjustments to keep up with this racetrack. Yeah, the atmospheric conditions have changed. Sun's out, track's hot, but the track has been rubber in. And I saw that yesterday when I seen it change quite a bit. I'm very curious what exactly the 19 car struggling with because, like you said, you're complacent because you've been waiting all day, and then you get hearing him on that radio talking about being tight. And I think that's exactly what you saw when Chastain passed him. He had to lift way out of the gas up off the 2, keep him knocking that wall down and getting down to 3 and 4 in the race's history. And we saw on the radio in the Brooklyn series, now that the track has taken a rubber. This car's here looking for the position. Exactly what I just said. This is normal Darlington Raceway. Keeping up with this racetrack. You heard Larry tell us. He told us that very thing before the race happened. Keeping up with this racetrack, that may be making adjustments in those pits every single time. That's exactly what I'm talking about. One place, side by side here, Kyle Busch. So everybody's getting tired. It seems like everybody's getting tired with the rubber coming down. One that keeps me marching to the front is that 5-car Kyle Larson. He's the only one out there that we heard on that radio talking about him. I can tell you, I've never promised that he can do things that he can do in stock car. So if there's anybody that's going to go find the grip, he's going to buy it and be the guy who does it. And he's also the kid that because of that talent, he can hold on to that booster race car. That's what we saw last weekend at Kansas Speedway. Man, that thing was out there on that rock out of that. Unbelievable. Well, in the last bit of 25 laps to go, Chastain was 5 seconds behind Truex. Now he leads by 9/10 of a second.
Or at least even further, I hope.
If you encounter a black bear, do not run. It may stimulate the instinct to chase. Instead, make yourself appear bigger. Bigger. And speak firmly in a loud voice. Good boy. Head for the mountains.
When this
Strawberry Frosty is back for the summer, so Tyler's been spending a lot of frosty time outside.
Ooh. What? Bro, you look like a strawberry. It'll even out. Choose wisely.
No sunscreen.
Goodyear parts, eBay Motors New Jersey guaranteed fit. Hey, Dave. Yep. Wait, what are those new wipers?
So small.
Let's go to eBay Motors where the check is a guaranteed fit. Let's ride. Crime scene kitchen. Your family gets to recreate the mystery dessert using only the clues left behind.
This is my husband.
Will you try to make it messy? Or do you just turn up?
What is that?
So good.
Crime Scene Kitchen returns Monday, June 5th on Fox.
Still sitting on a bucket or poorly built shop stool? Aren't you tired of the discomfort and back pain caused by your lousy shop stool? The days of tiny casters and thin seats are over. Meet the Viper Chair, America's #1 shop chair, made right here in the USA. The Viper Chair glides over any surface and loose debris with 4-inch industrial-grade casters. Relieve your lower back pain with a perfectly angled backrest. Prevent tipping and improve posture with a wide, sturdy base. Viper chairs are designed for every industry: automotive, detailing, welding, or any other project in your garage, no matter what you love to do. With an artillery of accessories, Viper is here to help you with whatever.
If only if I can talk to Swiper as a god. Otherwise,
and get yourself a Viper chair. Handcrafted right here in America. Shop ViperIndustrial.com.
well, maybe there's a way.
Plus free shipping on all orders. Shop ViperIndustrial.com. That's BYPER Industrial.com.
You could see everything was sort of still there. It was just how they left it.
You grow up with it, you kind of take it for granted that it's always going to be there.
When it goes away, you're like, man, that didn't have to happen. Reopening the Orthodox Club Speedway. How hard could this be?
Tell me a stadium, a sports venue anywhere in the United States that got resurrected.
You never thought about them ever using the racetrack anymore. Marcus would come by, they'd say, hey man, just so you know, the addicts around the Wilkesboro. What does that mean, Marcus?
Felt bad that there was so much disappointment.
Let's see what I can do here.
NASCAR was really cool, so they're coming back on. Yeah, we're going to have an all-star race here, but this is way beyond the all-star race.
Hopefully on Wednesday and Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Return of North Wilkesboro. And Walter, we're going to put the band back together there. Who's going to join us at North Wilkesboro for the NASCAR All-Star Race.
So definitely Wednesday for an open house. Hats off to everybody involved. Everybody. And I mean it took everybody to get that thing right behind from the vision. When they started talking about that, my dad and I rode up there on a motorcycle and looked at that guy like, there's no chance you're going to live out this place. The one was I wrong. That's so exciting. Yeah. Okay, so I've been watching chess things. It looks like Truex is catching a moving and there's a ton of traffic on one. I think this is going to get real exciting in a couple months.
Jamie gets us an update.
And Justin Marks is the team owner for track houses. What is that the track position now? Getting moving head shots. What is the strategy now?
Well, one of the great things about NASCAR racing is the it's always great to be able to hear strategic position with the league. Obviously, we've got a little bit of and he's only cleared the lead on his own, so now it puts us in a position to sort of control the race a little bit and sort of watch what he doesn't do. So that's not to be honest. Anyway, Jack has been working so long, and speed has to really get that fastball too. We're trying to get back up there and this quickly. We are lights out on the next time in the world. These guys are not struggling with single fast. Well, just living the dream of track house. It's so great to be here on that weekend. Hopefully we can improve the game and most iconic NASCAR tracks.
Justin Marks is track house too, Mike. They just do things differently. They're trying to get their first win on the season of golf.
Get over here since it's been last April, as a matter of fact, since he's been in victory lane, hard to believe.
It's coming up to that then, but Suarez was teammate. Suarez was a tough rider until he had a speed. He had to fix
Here's the line you were talking about, Carl, right along with Rock Truex. Yeah, so you're on the ball, looking for key air, hits the patch, tons of grip. You always spin the tires off the turn two. Then you come barreling down here, deep seat your through. You just slide in here, looking for your spot. Not too close to the wall, but you know there's room up there. Don't get tempted. Looking for clean air. And right now, reading down his neck, Kyle was about the top four separated by only 2 seconds. What I saw right there is the difference in the two cars versus the gold. Carl, I would have, broke the wall a little bit instead of trying to get off of that. That shows you that weight, if you will, car in front of you, they cannot lead in that way whatsoever. He elected to go down low, down in that corner, trying to stay under the and the shifting opportunity, so you can push the ball a little bit more and maybe still have some power off the corner. But I'm really excited to see the I know we've only got, how many laps, 11 to go of this turn. I really think he's going to get back in the final stage. I think that's definitely a huge one out there. In second place, and the top four are closing on. Truex now just half a second back. Congress 1.2, Larson 2.5. And so watch from they power every lap, every mile, and every victory on the road ahead. Goodyear, more driven. He gets set of tires. Great tire. In fact, that could have set it up. Thanks. I'll get this for next time. And thank you. I'd love to do that. Did you see how close our guys are racing to that wall in 3 and 4? They're unbelievable how close they are. I don't know about you, Cliff, but we watch these guys get out that straight. When I would drive into 3 and 4, it's like I knew there might be some grip up there, but you have to decide, man, I got to risk it. It's finally very perfect slide job. Coming from the dirt racer, Christian Lavelle, textbook. So right in front, he's getting around focus line. See how he
8 laps. 8 laps to go.
Make that pass as well, capitalizing on that. Free pass right there. Still not expecting to win. That's super impressive. Great to see how you do here. Made a fantastic job. Top 10 all day long. Great call. Stamps is more to the top 10 today than in all of his previous 14 races here combined. Good job. Just a great racer. Did that way. Now, Tyler Reddick enters the top 10. Here comes Henry versus stage 1 on that side.
Oh my God. The 45.
So the little crossover with Blaney slides up, squeeze on pretty hard. Yeah, he definitely misjudged that. Well, unless it's rough figures and it just that's not good. Now the leaders have tightened up. Truex has come right back here with 6 to go. In stage 2 in front of stage 1. Being right to that lead. Playoff points are so important. Why you see he's got one more opportunity. All these lappers side by side. And those lappers are going to be racing hard, trying to stay on that lead lap. That'll be difficult for Chastain. One of them being his teammate. Huge run that back straight away. Suarez in the 99 green car. See Chastain a little bit loose, getting into 3. There. Now Truex standing on the outside like I was talking about earlier. If you get that run. Race is on here. Playoff points so important. Yep, diving down in the corner and chosen highlight, maybe chosen highlight. Run across the middle. Just looks like he's really searching for clean air. That car was being black there. That's just very, I believe he got it wrong. Yeah, very hard. Hard impact.
No caution. We stay green.
Kyle Busch and Kyle Larson. They have run in there. There we go. Took a long time to get there. This is the guy got into those lap traffic, Carl. That was the difference maker. Yeah, this is where it gets exciting. These guys are in there, here you go. Begin to race hard for this stage win. Chastain's got a win for There's still 3 lappers ahead.
Come on, let's do this. Nothing inevitable. Just go for it.
Trying to get loose in the 3. If you see through that 3 ring, it's not Churchill is trying anything he can. So that's why most guys are doing that, looking for Brent. Maybe that's part of his solution to the track rubber and problem that Churchill's having. That's exactly what I'm saying. How much he puts in turn 3.
Come on. Do it. Final lap.
He put some pressure on him getting into 3. Forced him to get loose. Might be the ticket here. He's close enough, Carl. Yes, he is.
No, no. Oh my God. I can't believe that. I cannot fucking believe that. Anyway, stage 2. Anyway, yes, he won stage 2.
Chastain gets the stage win. He hit the wall pretty hard. That wall car hit the wall pretty hard. Larson moving by him. Keselowski. Well, the pressure's on. It's like I was saying, the opportunity's here. Playoff points on the line. Got in the corner just like we were talking about. Chastain saw him coming. You think these guys aren't digging for everything in time?
Aggressive move.
There's Martin Truex's view of the last lap, stage 2.
Known as a passionate artist, known for loving the outdoors, known for getting everyone together. No one wants to be known for cancer, but a treatment can be. Keytruda is known to treat cancer, FDA approved for 16 types of cancer, including certain early-stage cancers. One of those cancers is triple-negative breast cancer. Keytruda may be used with chemotherapy medicines as treatment before surgery, and then continued alone after surgery when you have early-stage breast cancer and are at high risk of a pandemic.
Keytruda can cause your immune system to attack healthy parts of your body during or after treatment. This may be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have cough, shortness of breath, chest pain, diarrhea, severe stomach pain, severe nausea or vomiting, headache, light sensitivity, eye problems, irritability.
What the hell is going on over here? What? Crappy TV filter? Crappy, what? Is somebody shooting this through their TV or something? I need to put this up.
Hey, welcome to our Race Day Studios. Shannon and Jamie here. What a way to end stage 2. But Jamie, I know you have your eyes on the guy who finished in yesterday's race first. That, of course, is Kyle Larson.
Yeah, Kyle Larson's had an up and down day. Started 7th. Looked like he was going to have a fight with driving to lead. But right here on lap 39, you see things in. The Jack doesn't fall. The front of the phone Jack. The Jack just goes down. He has to go back. Jack can get the tire back on. Kyle Larson fell all the way back to 28 Shannon, but we're getting him to go. He was passing cars on the top, on the bottom, and he moved all the way up to 3rd place at the end of stage 2. I think he's the guy to beat right now.
Yeah, of course, we know how big that win was for him yesterday to make the 2 in a row. Darlington, what a day it would be for the 5-team. Throwback weekend, let's throw it back to you, Mike Joy.
Thank you. We're getting ready for pit stops here at the end of stage 2. And let's listen in to some of the radio in that final lap.
Everything okay? Yeah. There's plenty of room there. Just keep on the wall again.
Is the back okay?
Larry Mack, what did your data tell you about those?
Yeah, there's a piece of the car sticking out after that wreck.
Larry, what'd your data tell you about those two drivers entering turn 3?
Yeah, everybody was off the brake. They were down in the middle of turns 3 and 4. All three of them were completely off. But when Ross got right in the middle of 3 and 4, whether it's because he got loose or he lost the nose, he had to get on the brakes and got on them real hard right there.
I saw the rear end wiggle just at least a little bit, just a little, and that's when he got on the brakes, slid up the racetrack. That's hard racing. That's really caught me off guard. Yeah, those guys off guard, but that's as hard as that's. I think that's how you call that.
That's Darlington, and Ross said he didn't expect those fronts to have that grip because of the how easy it is. So this racetrack can get you at number one place.
So Truex will be 10th entering pit road. He got the final stage point. Ryan Preece will get the free pass as the leaders come to pit road. Regan.
Kyle Busch started off that last run with just a little bit too much splinter contact. Team asked him if he could handle a little bit more. He said yes, but not much more. Race car got too loose as he got to the end of the run. Wanted a little adjustment for that. And the 5 car of Kyle Larson was turning better, especially early on, but way too loose at the end of that run, Jamie.
Ross Chastain picks up his 5th stage win of the year. He saw that contact. He said the good news is he hit square, so he thinks everything is all right. The wheel is straight. And the 19 of Martin Truex Jr., he said if Ross would have just run his line and stopped worrying about walking all the time, we would have been fine. So a little bit of damage on the 19, but they think they are okay as well before trying to stop here.
Thanks, Jamie. That's close.
And very close. Larson to the point. How about it? Got him, Carl.
Wow, this is falling into Larson's hands.
So +2 for Kyle Larson as he gets off pit road first. Here's the video. Barely. Wow, about 6 inches. What is the difference there? So stage 2 is in the book. Ross Chastain, the leader. Carl, delighted to have you back. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Thank you for having me here. Both of you. This has been a lot of fun. Thanks to Fox, all the fans, for NASCAR, bringing all of us guys out here. This has been a lot of fun. I can't wait to watch the end of the race.
Man, I'm so glad to see you again. It's been a while, Carl. Always good competitors. Had a lot of fun on and off the racetrack. A lot of stories there, but always good to see you, buddy. Glad you're here.
Thanks again, everybody.
All right, don't be a stranger now.
All right, that's a deal.
All right, joining us for stage 3, Awesome Bill from Dawsonville, winner of the Winston Million at Darlington, Bill Elliott.
Bill Elliott. Okay, I think it's almost dinner time, so you're not going to be seeing my video feed.
Hey.
Bill Elliott, 88 champion, Winston Million winner, certainly one of NASCAR's top 75 drivers, and joining us, and with a little skin in the game, your son Chase here, running well, trying to get himself up in a position to win. His position right now matches his car number. Maybe 9 wasn't the best number to pick, but hey, it's got a great family history, and thank you for being with us.
Well, I'm a little prejudiced, so I'm definitely for him. Yeah. So we'll kind of see how it goes.
That's okay.
Well, I think your timing's right. He's slowly starting to march to the front. Old Bill, Austin Bill gets up here, and there he is in the top 10.
Well, we'll pull for him.
Richard Petty talked in the first stage about racing this racetrack, and here you had such great success here, and of course Chase has been coming to this racetrack for a long time before he actually got a chance to race here. Was after you'd done all your winning here.
Well, you know, everybody asks me about my favorite racetrack or which one I like to race at, and this would have to be one of my favorites. I just enjoyed the racetrack. I enjoyed the challenge of this racetrack, and especially early on in the early years, it was just so much fun to race the competitors, but you had to race the racetrack all day long.
So the throwback. Sorry.
The Winston Million was 4 races, and you won the first 2, Daytona and Talladega, and then you missed Charlotte, but you weren't worried. You still had a chance here.
Well, I had sat on a pole and won the race here in the spring, and we took that particular car and put it up, put it all back together and brought it back here. So I knew I had a good chance, but I wasn't the best car that day, but I did miss Charlotte.
That's right. But you did win the million.
But I did win the million.
All right.
So the throwback. Chase is honoring his dad. Pretty cool throwback. Look at the shirt you have on. That's from that year, right?
Ray Abraham Dodge. What else could you ask for?
Pretty cool.
And it still fits.
Here we come, Bill. Coming to the green. Let's see what that kid can do.
Coming to the Geico restart zone. Kyle Larson at a 9.6 second pit stop, his second fastest of the year for Cliff Daniel and crew. That's put him up front against Ross Chastain, Kyle Busch, William Byron, Harvick, Keselowski, Bell, Truex, Elliott, and Reddick, the top 10 as we go back to green.
Might see a new guy to the top.
We'll see when we get to turn 1 here.
Chastain's holding strong on that bottom. Race is on off the 2.
Goodyear's not ready yet. Whoa, wreck.
Big one on the backstretch. Well, Eric Jones around sideways and Bonchov and Cindric. McDowell. Austin Dillon. Ryan Newman around.
Yeah.
Suarez, man. Kids keep coming for him. Only the 4th caution of the day. Heavy damage for Austin Dillon here with the left front by the end of their day. Ryan Newman. Involved in it. Daniel Suarez. Somebody's off the wheel. That could be trouble. That could be the reason. I'd say that's the reason for the caution. All right, Jones up good roll already. And now Mike McDowell down good roll. Because that car doesn't have a right rear tire on it. That was the car that I saw sideways. No right rear tire. That's exactly what happened. Wheel fell off. Some vacations going on there. So he calls a petty wheel car. There he goes. You see it come off right there. He's sideways. See the wheel fall down on the right rear. Collected them all. You're going to see it roll off. And we'll watch it from the Ford camera on board Chase Briscoe. Great job, Chase Briscoe. Great job, spotter. Throwing low first. Low with closed up. Check up hard. Watch that right rear wheel. You can see it. Tire's down already. Toss the air for not only his team, a lot of others. Cindric and going to the pits and more. 4th caution flag of the day. Eric Jones sideways off turn number 2. Loses a wheel. We're under yellow.
Yeah, looking at the damage of the 43 car. So it's supposed to be Kyle Larson, the leader. At least that's what the ticker said.
The #1 on the greatest countdown show ever. Plus, don't miss the best fights, celebrations, driver rants, and bloopers in NASCAR history. Where will your favorite moment land on the list?
That's tonight at 7 Eastern Time here on FS1. We're under caution for the fourth time today with 96 laps to go. And let's show you why the lead is where it is as of the moment of caution. There the caution lights lit up with Kyle Larson just barely ahead of Ross Chastain. They go back, of course, to the last scoring loop crossed before the caution.
Look at the two behind them, Bush and Byron.
And they will line up in that order. Here are the 9 drivers involved in that crash, which began
Suarez involved.
It took them a long time to get a new wheel on the right rear and get it properly
I
seated.
intend on driving his car later this week.
Center lock nut. Let's take a look at today's race summary, sponsored by Mother's Polishes. 197 laps complete. Kyle Larson is one of 5 leaders today. Mark Truex led the most laps, 145. There have been 9 lane changes. We still have 22 cars on the lead lap as of that caution. The fourth one of the day. Truex and Chastain were the stage winners. And it looks like most of the leaders will stay out. With pit road opening up here, coming to the line for lap 198. 96 laps to go in Darlington. Action on the line.
Even Bruce Springsteen sang about Darlington County. A lot of the fans getting into the throwback weekend theme. There's the pond outside turn 4, what is now turn 4, originally turn 2, that gives this track its unique egg shape. And there are the Darlington stripes. We've lost count. Jamie.
Well, Jimmy Johnson, one of the owners of Legacy Motor Club, and you just saw the last incident with Eric Jones. What did you see happen there, Jimmy?
We're missing a wheel and tire. That seemed to make things a little tricky for Eric over there off of 2. So unfortunately, that wheel came off and collected some other cars, including the 42. But the guys were doing a great job, and Eric had been, holding steady there in the top 15 most of the day, and an unfortunate kind of end to a good run for us.
How about for you? What's it like sitting up on top of the pit box, not being able to control anything or be in the race car?
I feel so helpless. It's just such a different experience to be watching. It gives me a greater perspective of just all the engineering that goes into it and strategy that's required. And I certainly enjoyed being behind the wheel a lot more than I do sitting on the pit box, but that's where I am these days.
Congratulations to you. You're one of NASCAR's 75 greatest drivers.
Thank you. Such an honor. Appreciate it.
And Jimmy Johnson fans, he'll be back in the race car in 2 weeks at Charlotte. Mike?
How about that?
How about this one?
Yep. Daniel Suarez joins Austin Dillon
out of the race
garage after this one.
Pit road speeding penalty, Bill. So many penalties, mistakes make the difference in this sport.
Oh, absolutely. That's all. That's the whole deal in this sport.
And here's some Kyle Larson radio.
What was Ross's balance to end that second stage?
He was very adamant to not pass the 99 and put the 99 a lap down. So I'm just not sure, how hard he was going. Loose to me. He looked loose. I don't know that he said that. Well, never mind. We found it. He did say he was building too loose at the end of the run.
Okay.
That's what I saw. Exactly what Cliff Daniels just told him.
Building
good information.
Loose. Yep.
Heads up thinking, forward thinking. Kyle Larson.
Here they come to the Geico restart zone. 92 laps to go.
Still inside. Still there. Still there.
Man, he's pushing him real high, Bill.
Just like last week when Ross Chastain said, I gave him just enough room for his race car. That's just what he did again at turn 2.
That's all it was. Good racing. Important spot. This clean air is so important. Still door to door. Here comes Kyle Busch. A little bit of help from the back. Man, he's got him high. Here comes Kyle Busch. Here comes William Byron on the inside of Busch.
Byron capitalizes. Busch has the run off the high side in the corner.
Keselowski in a crossover, 2-for-1 pass, getting in at 1. We got it sorted out. Kevin Harvick, Christopher Bell.
And all this on the edge of control at 165 miles an hour.
Here comes
this
that
is not
Truex.
play.
Trying to get back up there. Fast race car, led a lot of laps early. Hard to believe he spun out and only in what, battling for 10th place right here with your boy, Bill.
Yeah, doing a good job. But you know, every time you get buried in the pack here, it's just so hard to maintain track position.
How about improved track position? Here comes Chase.
Back at him.
Back even. Want to try to work here, stall. Quarter bumper clear.
First and second, third and fourth were side by side entering 3.
Just like we saw for that stage in, Busch took a real hard dive at Chastain getting into 3. Seems like Chastain, just like we heard him talk about on the radio, building a little bit loose. What is his strong suit? Passing every car I saw, Bill. He was pushing it hard getting into 3. Now a little bit reluctant getting in there. Tells me he's a little loose over there.
Yeah, he's been able to really drive it in the corner, both ends, 3 and 1, from everything I've seen. He's kind of status quo up off, but really good getting down in the corner early on.
Chevrolets 1 through 4 with Christopher Bell, the first Toyota, in 5th. Keselowski, the first Ford, in 6th. Denny Hamlin went into turn 3 the last lap, 3 wide. Rarely do you get to do that at Darlington and see the exit at turn 4. Chase looking for 9th place.
Yeah, I don't know if it didn't hurt Truex's car just a little bit when he spun down there. It's just hard to tell. These things are so equal.
Well, I can say this. He was trending tight. That's why he lost that top spot, Bill. Said it on the radio, got tight as the track was rubbering in. Obviously, they probably made an adjustment according so. But if that baby was tight out there in clean air, it's going to be even tighter back there mired in traffic.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, how was Carl's perspective on things?
Well, it was good. It's just like riding a bike. Picked up right, went straight to the lap times, straight to calling the race, straight behind the wheel. Neat to hear him. Man, you want to talk about just picking up and leaving. Nobody's seen him. Nobody in the industry have seen him since 2016. Here he is, showed up.
And I got the sense that he missed it more than he thought he would if and when he ever came back.
I think he knew it. I think that's why he didn't come back. And he finally was forced to come back with his 75th anniversary deal, got here and liked what he felt.
Yeah.
I think he felt the love. He felt, the passion that people had for following him and was a fan of his. And I think he felt it all day long.
Yeah, it's hard to give up that time span, though. He was in pretty much the prime of his career. You just kind of, for whatever reason, gave it up, and then... but everybody's got their reason.
Spinner down on the apron, turn 3. It was one of those UPS cars. It was Stenhouse.
Oh, Stenhouse, such a good day.
That'll put
the
us
left rear down, left rear flat.
5th caution of the day.
Well, it's Darlington starting to eat him up.
Now, he was already on the apron. May have been trying to get to pit road.
I'd say he was trying to nurse this left rear. You see, just like you said, way down off the racetrack, finally spun. Got a caution here. Changes things, Larry.
Yes, sir, but we will be coming because now we've run about 10 laps. Now we're working this into making a 1 stop in this last stage. So I think you'll see them. It'll be feeding time, trust me.
Yeah, everybody was planning on that 2-stop strategy in stage 3. It is in Omaha.
Larry, how many sets of new tires do you have left?
We're in good shape, Mike. We still got about half of what we started with. We've used 5 sets, made 4 pit stops, so 5 including what we started on. Good shape on tires.
Well, that's good.
Smoke them if you got them.
That's good because we're not done having cautions.
Absolutely not.
Saw that at Kansas. Right. Cruised around there, green flag. Nothing happened all of a sudden. Holy cow. Once they started cautions, and I think you're going to see that. Everybody knows how hard these positions are to come by on green flag conditions. These restarts are going to ratchet up. Just saw it on the last one. And that one car did what he needed to do. Didn't leave him much room. Crowded him pretty hard, but you're going to see more of that.
But this is Darlington.
Oh, yeah. You run out of all of it off of 2.
Absolutely.
It all happens off of 2 on these restarts. run out of real estate. That track, it's barely wide, and people don't, it's hard to see this from the camera angles, but when you're rolling around there under caution, it really is door to door when you come off of there if both cars are on the racing surface. There's hardly room for two cars to go by there door to door off of 2.
And up our left, our Fox Race tracker, pretty easy the first part of the race, but here we are in stage 3.
Important pit stop.
It picked up. Regan.
Well, Kyle Busch, good when we started that run right there. Liked his car initially, but then he got in the wake of the one car, said it was really tight. A little bit of a discussion on whether they want to adjust for that or not. He thinks it's going to be very good on the long run. And Kyle Larson struggling on that restart just a little bit as he lost the track position. The plan was to try and save the tires and get him as the run went on. Jamie?
Christopher Bell in the 20, driven from 16th up to the top 5, and that's no surprise. He ran great in both races here last year. He's actually the first driver I heard say he feels good. Ross Chastain with a little bit of help. They're adding wedge this time around.
Chastain pulled right out to the outside lane to hold back both Kyle Busch and William Byron.
Saw it with Larson, saw it a 10-second stop, the 9 seconds. Byron had a good stop up 1. Busch held steady there.
81 laps to go in Darlington County, South Carolina in the Goodyear 400.
multi-car crash on lap 193. His day is done. Daniel Suarez has gone behind the wall. His day is done as well. Several drivers picking up damage and having their days end early, and taking them out of contention to win here at Darlington Raceway. Of course, this racetrack is very special for a lot of drivers. One driver in particular, one of the longtime members of Racing here at Darlington Raceway, Richard Fraser, who retires this afternoon, or like his first race, of course, rookie club here in 2003. He spoke about why this racetrack is so special for racing.
Saturday on Fox, Mookie Betts and the Dodgers take on Nolan Arenado and the Cards. Or you'll see Julio Rodriguez lead the Mariners against Ronald Acuna Jr. and the Braves. Saturday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on Fox and on the Fox Sports app. Ross Chastain chooses the outside for this restart, which will come with 78 laps to go. Kyle Busch on the inside, Byron and Larson, Keselowski and Bell, Harvick and Truex, Elliott and Blaney. Well, all of the drivers right at the front of the field have already visited Ruoff Mortgage Victory Lane this season. 9 drivers in all. There's the list. Who will join them today?
See what, yeah, it's interesting, Bill. Chastain, we just saw what he did with the 5 car, right? Utilizing that bottom, he took the outside. Let's see what Kyle Busch can do.
Here's some Kyle Busch radio.
All All right, no matter what you choose here, don't let him juke you into doing stupid here. We got a good car. We got a car that can win. Let him dictate his own end of this race. Don't let him dictate what we do.
Good reminder, huh, Bill?
Absolutely. Good advice. It's still a long way to go. I mean, you still got a lot of time to do a lot of different things. You know, I still don't know if Ross has a long-term run car versus what Kyle's got. Kyle's got a pretty good car.
I'm liking this Christopher Bell. I see him. You see Harvick. Those guys, Keselowski, man, what a good day he's having.
Green flag. Here's some Kyle Larson spotter audio. Tyler Munn.
Still there. Still out there. Still there. Still there. 6. Still out there. 24. Still there. Still out there. Clear up.
Man, that got interesting quick, didn't it, Bill?
Oh, absolutely.
8 was pushing hard on that Chastain. Stacked them all up. Larson had to bail out of the gas.
Truex Harvick, the first side-by-side battle, and they're pretty well stacked up behind them. Now Keselowski to the inside on Christopher Bell. This is for 5th.
Yeah, I don't think Brad can get it done. He might, but it's going to be tight. Christopher's been good. I've watched him most all day. He's been done a really good job.
Harvick got a great run on those two when they were side-by-side in turn 2, and so did Chase Elliott. They closed right up. But here in the middle of 3 and 4, they are still going at it for 5th place.
Now you got Blaney and Truex running too deep.
Have to get this sorted out, and they did right there. I was going to say 2 cars side by side is going to enable whoever's behind them to capitalize. That was Harvick, and he was coming.
Yeah, Truex looks tight now. Looks like his car is not, especially in traffic.
Logano on the move.
I think it was a combination. It was kind of trending that way anyway. Got in trouble. Got into Chastain at the end of that. Man, that was so close to Chase Elliott. The back of Logano.
He used up his front bumper there.
Chase gets stacked
tight,
up in 2, and Ryan Blaney's right on him. So is Truex. Truex to the inside.
8 in the wall. Kyle Busch has hit the wall off of 2. Running 2nd.
Here's a look.
Right there. Wasn't off of 2. It was right in the middle of the corner, Bill.
Wow.
So overcooked the corner just a little bit. Slid up, got into it.
It's still Darlington.
Busch falls to 4th after this.
You're the 1 and the 5.
This is one tough racetrack, though.
Turn 3 car in the wall. They had a bit of bumping and scraping, and Ty Gibbs got the worst of it.
He had already been in the wall as part of that carnage when Eric Jones spun around.
He had contact from someone, couldn't see who, but got him against the fence, and then you keep going. That happens so frequently here, Bill. You get that Darlington stripe, whether it's from contact or not. How you feel about rolling off into the next corner at full speed?
You got to do what you got to do. But I will say with a new car in this body, it does make it easier to get into the wall. Where 2 years ago, the older car, you pretty much cut a tire down.
Well, I think you're seeing it right there.
Absolutely.
Kyle Busch is coming right back to the bumper of the 5, trying to make a move on him. Yes, 2 years ago, to your point, Bill Elliott, that car would have been out. It would have been on pit road fixing the fenders because it is going to cut a tire down. Still diving into the corner very hard into turn 3. Hard to pass out here today.
Yeah, and it's just going to get worse as the day goes on.
Now Denny Hamlin back at 20th place. He just went past Justin Haley, who was the free pass car on that last caution, and it took him 3 or 4 laps to get there and complete the pass. Haley trying to come back, but nothing there. So Hamlin back into the top 20.
Yeah, when he earlier in the race had fluid on the racetrack, he slid up and got into the wall pretty good into 3 and 4. I can't help but to think, Bill, that hurt that car. This is a favorite driver at the Darlington racetrack. Anytime you're talking about managing tires, you think Denny Hamlin. He's in that conversation and just not in the cards today.
Yeah, Denny's been very masterful here. He's done a great job. And, yeah, I would agree with you 100%, Clint. I think that really hurt his car.
All right, let's look at today's Guaranteed Fit at Darlington, sponsored by eBay Motors. Larry?
Well, Mike, it has to do with Cup champions and NASCAR Hall of Famers at Darlington Raceway. 23 of our 35 Cup Series champions has won a race at Darlington for a combined 77 wins, including no Bill there. 23 NASCAR Hall of Fame drivers have won at Darlington, and that doesn't count the crew chiefs, engine builders, and owners that are Hall of Famers. And actually, 5 of our 7 active champions has a win at Darlington, not Kyle Larson or Chase Elliott, but all 7 are running inside the top 10. All this could be the eBay Guaranteed Fit to see another Cup Series champion pulling the victory lane today.
There have been surprises here, but certainly this is a track that favors veterans and especially champions. So Kyle Busch now finds himself in 4th place after getting into the wall in the middle of turn number 2. Here's what he had to say about that.
The first corner I was loose, shattered the rear tire. From there on out, it's been plowing tight. What the? F4, no worries. A long way to go. Take care of it for a long run.
Plowing.
Well, it was loose.
He got a little graphical there.
Yes. Well,
you know, I'm kind of glad I'm up here looking at it from this vantage point.
Larry, how long before we're looking at green flag pit stops, do you think?
Yeah, Mike, with going back to racing with 78 laps to go, I think this turns this into a one-stop strategy right now. We go back racing at lap 215, again, 78 laps to go. I'm going to say somewhere around lap 250, we're going to start seeing them hit pit road, a little before splitting it absolutely in half.
Okay. Jamie, how about an update on the younger of the Elliots in today's race?
Yes, Chase Elliott's had his work cut out for him all weekend long. Started 21st, up to 9th. And I talked to his crew chief, Alan Gustafson, and he said it's been interesting. The tire that Goodyear has brought here, this right side, we've run it 3 previous races, including last week at Kansas. And Alan said it has changed how Chase has to drive this track. It's changed how they have to set up this race car. So it's taking a little longer to hit his stride to get there at the end. I just thought that was interesting how sensitive these drivers can be to a change in a tire.
Thanks, Jamie. There's a look at the Bill Elliott scheme on the Evernham Dodge. That little, those little arrows sticking out at the top right of the 9. That's the E for Evernham in that one, and of course shirts to match. And
shirts to match.
Yep.
Those are some good years, weren't they, Bill? Man, those cars were so fast.
Ray did an awesome job. I mean, that was so much fun driving for him those 3 years. I mean, I was about at the end of my career, you know, early 40s. You know, where was I going to go? And Ray comes to me and asks me, and I'll never forget. He said he comes up, sends word about somebody that he wants to talk to him. So I go over to his truck. He comes back there and he tells me, I want you to come drive my race car. And I think I fell over on the floor because I said, me, my age, you know, there's a lot of younger guys. And he said no, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I went and did it. I had 3 great years with him and enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of Mark Martin, right? When towards the end of his career, matched up with Rick Hendrick in that 5 car and lit it up. And what a match you had in that 9. I remember that was when I was coming into this sport, and you were lights out fast every week.
62 laps to go in the South Carolina county that Bruce Springsteen made famous. Here at Darlington, even a throwback menu. Oh, bologna burgers there. Some PD dogs. Fried bologna, wow. And I thought you had to go to South Boston for that. Nope, they got it here too.
It's good on the front side. That's all I'm going to say. That fried bologna sandwich, woo, that baby looks good.
But
there's a big butt coming.
57 to go. Ross Chastain half a second in front of William Byron.
Look how close that is, huh?
The top four are all Chevrolets. Christopher Bell, the first Toyota, in fifth. Brad Keselowski still the first Ford in sixth. There's the monster cam on board Tyler Reddick.
It's hard to explain to somebody, Bill. I always find it challenging what it feels like to be right up against that wall. That last little buffer, whether it's the air in between that car and the wall literally pushing you off of it, but there's just a little bit of grip, that last inch.
You know, I never found it. I was either off of it or in it.
That's the challenge about this racetrack. We show it, already shows us great shots, as good as you can, but that feeling, that little bit of buffer, the side bite, the last inkling of side bite you have to keep that car out of that wall. The ones that can find it, and it comes into the balance. You have to have a good balance on your car, not too tight, not too loose, because the second you are, you're going to be into it, just like Bill talked about. But that is a very, very hard thing to master at a track like Darlington.
Plus, add in, you know, they lost almost 2 feet with a soft wall.
Safer Barry,
versus
yes.
when I ran here back in the days. So
the only thing soft when you ran here was that bologna burger.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
You got a good point there.
Micah McDowell released from the infield care center, getting checked out, one of the 9 cars involved in that pileup at lap 194. In the last 27 races here, only twice have we had a caution with 9 or more cars involved in it. So it doesn't happen often. But that was right on a restart and right out of turn 2.
Yeah, but that was kind of a freak deal. When you lose a tire, it's kind of, you know, it ain't really on anybody other than just a mistake by the team, you know.
Larry, you tell me, 250. All right, we're 240, 10 to go, 10, 15 laps before we start seeing these green flag stops. Somebody going to short pit this a little bit? Do you take that gamble?
Oh, I think they will, Clint. I think that's a big key. Splitting it in half is about lap 254, 255. So I definitely think once we cross over 248, 249, that's when that window opens. And, you know, when someone comes, you can't be far behind. You're just giving up 2+ seconds a lap.
Just like we've seen all day long, the opportunity. When does it come? It comes with these lappers. Now you see Byron. You saw that maneuver with Larson behind him, navigating around that lap traffic. That race for the lead is narrowing up.
BJ McLeod's taking his car to the garage area. We want to thank Goodyear for everything they've done this weekend, including our aerial coverage, powering every mile and every moment on NASCAR's road to victory. Goodyear, more driven.
Even they got behind the throwback scheme with the tires. Every tire out here, cool looking race cars, white letters on the Goodyears. I like what I see here. Talking about coming into green flag pit stops. This is going to put the pressure on the teams. The performance, getting on to pit road, that stop itself. With those cars being that close on that racetrack, that's going to make the difference maybe between who wins this race and who doesn't.
Here's Jamie on the leader.
Well, it's interesting. A lot of the drivers behind Ross saying that they're tight. Ross Chastain just now said he's 3 or 4 loose. And it's interesting listening to his radio because he ran the truck race, the Xfinity race this weekend, and he took some mental notes of how the track changed and what it did and what to look for, especially on that high side. Also, his pit crew, they pitted for Kyle Larson in the Xfinity Series race yesterday. And you know what happened there, Mike? They went to victory lane.
They are on it. And there's the crew, not quite at the get ready for green flag stops, but Ryan Preece is in now. He was a lead lap car, and we're starting to see others like Josh Berry that were toward the tail end of the lead lap starting to come in.
Logano, here comes Logano, 22. That's one that you're going to see some short pit and try to capitalize on this.
Regan.
Joey Logano working to get that car tightened up the majority of the day. This last run, the biggest concern was some wall contact with the right rear. They're going to check that for him while they get the 4 tires.
Now, Logano had just made it up into the top 15 after being like a 20 to 22nd place car much of the day. Here we go for the lead.
And don't look now, but Larson's right there too. Be careful, Byron. You get those 2 cars side by side, might create a 2-for-1 opportunity, Bill. Race is on, baby.
Yeah, no doubt.
Three Chevys slugging it out for the lead here with 47 to go. Kyle Larson.
He's going to do it. Completes that pass for second.
Here comes the 20.
Not this time.
Christopher Bell, and Larson's going to pit. Or is he?
Oh, he missed it. No, he didn't. Still has it.
He made it.
Whoo, that was close.
Inside the orange box, that's where you have to be to commit to pit road. Regan.
Kyle Larson in the 5 car started too tight on that run, but they were okay with that. They figured it would cycle through and get good for him as the run went on. Same thing for this run. They're planning to carry it out for a little while longer. And the 8 car of Kyle Busch, his race car, you heard say it was just plowing. Jamie?
Brad Keselowski making his way into the pit box. Been really good. A really good day for him. Just building free earlier in the run, adjusting for him. You see Christopher Bell on the right side. Christopher really happy with that 20 car.
Regan, William Byron.
William Byron, another one of those race cars that's just too tight right now. It started to run tight, stayed tight the whole time for William. Jamie.
Ross Chastain, remember, his pit crew has been on it. His crew chief told me he loves pitting because these guys get it done. I don't want to jinx him saying that, but they've been good. He was too loose. They're going to tighten him up just a bit. A 4-tire stop here for Chastain.
There they're off. They're off that pit road. Keep an eye on this 5. You look at the track map on the top of your screen. He's coming off of 4. Gonna get him. Gonna get him easy. There it is. You see Chastain coming off. That's the benefactor of that short pit. Did a great job. And look, Christopher Bell's right in tow with him.
So as we cycle through the rest of these green flag stops, that is where it will settle out among those 2.
And look where Logano gained. Logano's right there behind them. That might be short-lived. That's 3 or 4 laps ahead for them. Haven't heard any penalties. That's great stops. Big difference maker there, Bill.
Oh, no doubt. You know, but watching Truex early in the race, when he had the lead, clean air, he was good. And now he's kind of buried in traffic, and he's kind of status quo.
So Kyle Larson was 3rd, 0.3 of a second difference, and pitting 1 lap apart as Chase Elliott completes his stop. And but for the first 4 cars, Harvick, Blaney, Wallace, and Hamlin, we have cycled through. Kevin Harvick in. Regan.
Kevin Harvick has been pretty good. The problem with Kevin Harvick's car is it takes 20 laps till it gets good for him. Otherwise, he doesn't want any changes.
Ricky Stenhouse, too fast entering pit road. Very few penalties today, but they have been costly. Ryan Blaney again picks up the lead as they stay out long on these green flag stints, but now he's headed for pit road. Bubba Wallace will become the race leader briefly.
Tail end of who hadn't cycled, but hey, got to give luck a chance to operate here, and that's exactly what Bubba Wallace and company is doing.
So Wallace and Hamlin are the only 2 on the lead lap who have yet to make this stop. So Larry,
here comes
He's Bubba.
Pitting.
But how could this benefit them, Larry?
Yeah, the only way this works is if a caution comes out before they pit, then they're going to drag everybody to pit road with them under caution. So that's the only thing that would make this work.
Man, quietly all day long, Christopher Bell just slowly but surely is inching into this picture, and here it comes. 39 to go in second.
So it looks like one of the drivers who did not fare well on this round of green flag stops is William Byron. He was second when it started. He is now 9th after pit stops. 11.5 second stop for Byron was a large part of the difference.
That's a second and a half in the pits. That looks pretty big out on that racetrack, doesn't it, Bill?
It sure does. It's hard to make up on the racetrack, too.
Here comes Chastain. Whoa, so close. Almost got in the back of Eric Jones, way high. Trying to make a move on Christopher Bell for second. That was a tough part of the corner to catch that lapper of Eric Jones right there.
So Denny Hamlin, the leader, but he has not been in the pits since lap 212. Larson was in at 247 9 laps ago. There's Hamlin.
Yeah, Chris Gabehart, his crew chief, and Hamlin, they got something a lot of other drivers don't have. They got a win, which gives them a bigger playbook to work with. They can run this thing long.
That's a great point, Larry.
All good out the back by straightaway.
He's going to need some help. They're counting on a caution is what they're counting on. But to Larry's point, it's worth with a win already in your belt, you're going for wins.
Look at that graphic. Larson 9 miles an hour quicker than Denny Hamlin on worn tires.
Only 9.
Well,
Larson's really gotten away from Bell in the last couple laps.
9 miles an hour, Bill, but that's 2 seconds over the course of a lap. That's huge.
Don't take long to add that up.
Well, as long as you could stay in lap traffic, right? I mean, if you're Denny, you know, trying to manage where you're catching cars, or they're catching you, more importantly, on tires, not losing time with them passing you.
Eric Jones to pit road. Now, prior to the pit stop cycle, Denny Hamlin was 17th. So as Larry said, they have a win in the bank, take their best shot, and for them it's staying out long and running to the end of this fuel load, or until the tires just won't grip anymore.
Killing us on entry into 3.
That's where he's been killing everybody all day long. It is just you guys. Talking about Ross Chastain in the rear view that you see behind him. Been very strong getting into the corners. Bill, you alluded to it earlier.
I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he drives it in and maintains good speed. You got to give and take, you know, at any racetrack. And usually if I'm good in, I'm bad off. It's hard to be both.
33 laps to go. Another 2 or 3 before we expect Hamlin on pit road.
Yeah, it's all about getting a car rotated, right? You want to get into the corner and get the car rotated early as possible, because that's when you can apply the throttle and get off the corner and make your speed, keep your momentum. Usually when you drive the car too hard getting into the corner, you just wait longer for the car to rotate.
So here's Denny Hamlin coming to the line. And we'll show you the gap back to Kyle Larson.
Yeah, they're going to need a caution very, very quickly.
So when Hamlin pits, he won't just lose the lead. He's likely going to lose the lead lap when he makes this stop.
Well, again, it goes back to what Larry told us. Got to win in your pocket. I mean, it was go for it. We're going to push all the cars in right here. See what happens. We were already a 17th place car. Can we make it a winning car?
I don't think so.
So Larson's going to be your leader when Hamlin pits. Bell, Chastain, Busch have gotten pretty close here. Kyle Larson's a 3-time runner-up here in the Cup Series. Won yesterday in Xfinity. Has yet to score a Cup win at Darlington. And here comes Hamlin. He will surrender the lead. Likely fall from the lead lap during this stop. We'll check it out when we come back, but you're not going to miss a thing. We're going to go Fox side by side with 30 laps to go in Darlington. Larson 2 seconds up on Christopher Bell. Chevy versus Toyota. Here is the summary of the green flag stops with their current position on the left and where they were running before the stop. So Tyler Reddick up 5 on that pit stop exchange, did quite well. William Byron went from 2nd down to 9th, now back up to 7th.
Yeah, he was definitely the one that stuck out the most to me. Not the best for the money stop from William Byron in the 24 car. Still 24 to go. I'm sure this Larry's going to have some sort of trend for us at the end of this thing. I remember it a year ago he told us this. Lo and behold, Bill, if you remember.
Oh, I remember. Payback time.
That's right. Caught him. Couldn't believe he caught him.
Now down at 21st place, Denny Hamlin had that long run, hoping for a caution, did not get it, made his pit stop under green, and he is now the 2nd car, 1 lap down. So effectively out of play for now.
Didn't work.
Nope. Speaking of trends, Larry.
Bill and Clint ask, I can deliver right here. So what I did, I looked at the trends of the first 12 races in 2023. The average of the last caution is 21 laps to go, but the one that leaps off the page in 12 races, we've had 5 overtime finishes so far, and we are now 22 to go. And if it doesn't work out, I'm done with the trends.
Hendrick Motorsports leading with Kyle Larson, and the last time they won here was 2012. Jimmy Johnson gave Rick Hendrick his 200th win as a car owner, and none of their 4 active drivers had yet made a start in the Cup Series. They're right now today going for win number 296. There's that last victory. NASCAR's Mike Helton with Rick Hendrick and Jimmy. They've won at 26 different tracks since, 95 times, but it's been a while.
And a bridesmaid. You said it. 3 times a bridesmaid Kyle Larson's been. He's hungry. He was frustrated last weekend, wanted that one. 2 times in a row, been knocked off at Kansas Speedway right there at the end. Kurt Busch a year prior. It was Denny Hamlin this year. He's wanting this Darlington racetrack. This is the one that everybody wants to win.
Well, Kyle got into him several years back, wasn't it? They came down.
Here, yes. Now is it Kansas? Oh, yeah. Ain't here. They got into it.
All right, he's in third.
A very busy 8 days.
I want to see a caution.
And to win it on the final lap. Got loose in the corner. And then Hamlin got against him, got into the wall, saved it for second place. And look at this. That's Kyle on the outside of John Hunter Nemechek. Hard racing on the final lap yesterday in the Xfinity race. Larson went to victory lane, and John Hunter, when they released him from the care center, he was laughing about it. He said, hey, that's just good hard racing.
All he can say is there's 2. Got to spin off the floor. Somebody's around back for Brian Newman.
Oh my God, Newman.
Newman was 3 laps down. In about 27. In his return to NASCAR, he dropped 5 races this year from Rick Ware, has just brought out the 6th caution flag of the race with 18 laps to go. Well, Larry, you're pretty close. You're going to have to hold on to the trend. What about 3 laps? And we got 3 laps. He gets an attaboy. That is a break for Ty Gibbs. He'll be the free pass. Here's a look at it. Hamlin will do more.
Well, we're going to hit it. We're going to make sure that it's not takers and fastest. I need you that more than ever, guys.
Like Larry says, we got lots of tires.
Well, we got that. That's the easy part. The hard part's making sure you get them on there tight and faster than everybody else. Brian Newman, welcome back. The Cup Series struggling a little bit.
Bill, did you ever think we'd see a NASCAR where average good pit stops were below 10 seconds for 4 tires and gas?
I thought 20 was a 20?
It was.
You don't remember way back, do you? The Jack was probably, at least, what was it?
I mean, back in the day,
Jacks, yeah.
22, 23 second stops.
I think it's open, green light, go. Here they come, guys.
All right, lead lap cars. 19 of them. Here they come. Regan.
Kyle Busch's car is too tight turning into turn 1 right now. When he gets in the wall, he's good. He likes that through turns 2. Turns 3 and 4, though, that car is strong as well. And the fireman Kyle Larson said the balance is good. It went just a little bit free at the end, but he likes it, Jamie.
7 stop up in 8 and 20. Christopher Bell received a little bit for the front turn there. The one of Ross Chastain in as well. They're going to free him up in this last run for this shootout, they told him, before tire stop.
We saw the 8 had to back up, but I see 5. There's a race, 5 and a 20. Larson's ahead of him, it looks like. We're going to see the race off just a little bit. Advantage goes to Larson. Not going to like it if you're a Kyle Busch fan here.
No trouble on the right side. They had to lift it back up to get the center wheel up and the hub seated.
How about Logano taking advantage of these last cautions? And then Truex and Elliott, +4 on both of those guys. Welcome to the party. Time is right.
Mark Truex picking up 4 spots on that pit stop. Now, he was a pole sitter, so he has an all pit stop. That didn't hurt.
Got that 9 crew, Bill.
They did an awesome job. This is when it counts. This is the moment. We got to hang on for probably 15 laps here. Hope for the best.
Pay window is open.
The question is, are we done having cautions?
Oh! Is this going to happen? I just hope he doesn't run out of fuel just like Carl Edwards did at Phoenix.
Boy, I don't do very good in cash, Bill. If I take out of the house with some cash in my pocket, there's no chance I get away with it.
Well, how about next Sunday on FS1? $1 million is on the line as NASCAR returns to North Wilkesboro for the All-Star Race. Wow. Cannot wait. The track that went away, and Bruton Smith said just let it go to the ground. Dale Earnhardt Jr. revived it for iRacing. Marcus Smith brought it back. He and Speedway Motorsports have done a fantastic job. Wait till you see the new, mostly old, looks good. Yeah.
Oh.
My mind's on this choose rule. We saw, the 5 was on the bottom there. Or excuse me, 5 took the outside as a pole sitter. Chastain moved him up a little bit, did the right thing, and it was right. It worked. Where are you choosing here for 5?
Here are the 5 up front drive. I'm probably going to the inside on restart ranks this season. On their restart performance. Because I figured what's going to happen. If I choose the inside, we're going to go outside, but also go inside. And he'll try to put it to redeem, get the 21.
No, you think Ross is going to go for the 3 wide? I think the preferred line has always been the outside. Once you get into that corner 1 and 2, and you can break them down.
Look at Christian Lavelle.
Well, there goes 20.
They think they have a loose one.
You know who that puts door to door with you again? Exactly what we just saw.
Now what do you get? That 9-8 stop was just a little too quick they just had.
If I'm the 5, I'm going to return that favor. I'm going to put him on the outside and give him a little taste of his own medicine. That's what I was going to do.
So now the first 5 are Larson, Chastain, Logano, and Chase Logano.
There it is. How about Logano? What a turnaround. 2 weeks in a row. Taking advantage of those cautions. Looking to get use.
So we know on the restart, with Ross up high, the question will be if Kyle Larson can get into turn 1 even with Ross and keep him up and, so he doesn't have many options up there in the corner, and then what will we go do? Exactly what you saw.
I just hope Chastain chooses
If the 5
away.
Exactly what Chastain did to him.
Man, Ross has been so good though in the corner, especially through.
Well, and
He chose the outside.
Kind of a guideline, if you will. So what I don't want to do is keep up on
Hold on. House divided right here.
Oh,
yeah. Happy Mother's Day. She wants the 1, he wants the 5.
There's a good chance that he's going up together. Truex is back.
Logano's right with him. Then Chase Elliott. Keselowski, Reddick, Byron, Harvick.
Last year's winner, Logano. That boy's capable of getting up on the wheel.
It'll be 13 laps to go.
Come on. Trackhouse Racing emulates Robert Yates Racing. Let's go. Green flag back in the air. Ross Chastain to the lead.
That was a really good jump for the outside there, the second place car. Oh, Rick! Truex alters Truex.
Yeah, another big one.
Alvaro's around. Logano.
I think his day is done.
I think Larson was in the lead there.
As they started into the corner, there was a little bit of contact between he and Ross. I mean,
Truex is stuck, can't go, left rear tire down.
Clearly, Larson was trying to keep Chastain up as high as possible. Might have been, a little contact right there.
Follow along with Truex, stay on him.
Truex slides up into Logano, and there it goes.
Just a little bit of squeeze. Look at the 2 in the lead, though. They're both in the wall. Don't forget that. 5 gave it to him. That's exactly what I was talking about. Run him up. They both were in the fence.
It might be easier to count the cars that were not involved on this restart with 13 lucky laps to go.
Let's watch this again. Obviously, all focus was on Truex and Logano. It was the wreck, but watch these leaders here. I think he gave him a little dose of the old medicine there, moved him up the racetrack, and it definitely got him in the wall.
We need so. Watch for my Kevin Harvick's Hunt Brothers Pizza Can.
No, right now, nowhere to go.
And we'll ride with Martin Truex.
Tough day for Truex. That's going to be very frustrating. Man led a lot of laps, had a really good car. Kind of shot at it. The time's right.
Reddick turned around there, and off the leaders on the left, and the caution light lower right. Caution is out. Oh, that's too close to call. Now remember, you got to go back to the last loop that they crossed.
Yeah, but one was ahead. Yeah, I want to see this jump right here. Watch this. Chastain was quite a bit ahead of him after a couple car lengths. I want to see the jump. Lost this. Well, but he ain't the leader either. That 5 car is supposed to be the first car to jump.
Hey, that's not for me to call.
You already did, Bill.
Yeah, but what I say don't matter.
Now we're going to listen in to Chastain. Just scuffed up some. Now scoring has Chastain as the leader. Remember, it's not the moment of caution except to decide the end of the race. You go back to the last scoring loop that they crossed, and that's where NASCAR measures who was ahead at that time, and that's simply to prevent drivers, once the light's coming out, to try to gain an extra spot or two before they set the line.
But Ross was ahead of him even up till round about the point the caution came out.
Chastain, how about that? Unbelievable.
Man, now which side do you choose?
I don't want to be on the outside. Now that I've repaid the favor, I want that back.
8 cars involved in this pilot. Truex slides up to Logano. Larry St. Martin's steering wheel was full left lock as far as it would go. Couldn't get away. And what did Kyle Larson have to say about all this?
For what it's worth, NASCAR didn't call it, but he was in the gas before you did not initiate that restart. That's why for the situation here now.
Well, you called that, Bill.
I put it on when they almost at the end of those restarts out of that, because then it's free for all.
Yes, if nobody goes by the end of the restart zone, the flag restarts the race. But Cliff Daniels saying that Chastain was on the gas before Kyle Larson.
That's what I love about racing. There's two sides to every story. Depends on who's your guy, right?
All right, let's show you the timing line. That's the last timing line crossed before the caution using our ghost car animation.
Yeah, early in the, he didn't get to his, that's about where he actually got into it and put it on the wall, right in the middle of the corner, kind of getting in. He was clearly behind him at that point.
So what is Ross Chastain thinking?
Inside corner.
But the 24 goes with the 5 and the 9 decides not to push. Not going to be helpful. The question is the 5 going to go even, or does he want to try to be in the mix again? I think the 5 is the same thing if he's on the bottom.
The help behind him. Look at the help behind him. The help behind him, all three, that is Hendrick cars behind him.
Chastain,
it's William Byron or Chase Elliott. Pick your poison. Which one you want?
Hendrick Chevy. Ross Chastain, the leader. I don't think it matters who lines up with him. He doesn't have any friends.
I like to give him the inside.
I mean, I don't know if he's going to be 100% here.
It's all the push down the front straightaway, though, in my opinion. You need to be in position.
So that matter what happens when you get involved with this push down the front.
I need to have it before I get there, Bill.
So we're going to find out what's going to happen.
Behind you, and he does, it ain't going to matter anyway.
9 laps to go.
We'll find out.
There were cars involved in that crash. All the damage to some degree. I did not see anybody pull the garage on that one. However, get Truex out of the race. It was the only car apparently eliminated in that 8 car lineup. So, Larry Mack, how many more cautions will we have? I don't think we're through. How about if I just leave it at that? I don't think we're through with them. I probably put my money on you. Reddick had, I'd say, second most damage to Truex. And when he got turned around and hit the wall, he was able to continue, but comes to pit road for service. 22 cars on the lead lap.
A lot of these guys, I heard you mention, Chase having trouble, damage on his car, if you will. That Harvick's got a lot on his. A lot of those guys back there, quite a bit of damage on their cars here when they restart.
It's going to make it interesting, but I mean, what do you figure? How many laps to go do you figure when it starts? Handful?
Depends on if it goes green.
We're only going to have a handful left.
I'd say a handful and
Another handful.
a good opportunity at another handful.
Eric Jones too fast to enter pit road.
There's your damage on Chase Elliott.
He was 2 laps down. Jones that was. Chase in 4th place. So you got Trackhouse, Hendrick, RFK with a Ford, Stewart Haas with a Ford, Penske with a Ford, Wood Brothers with a Ford, Bubba Wallace for 2311 with Toyota. But if the one car goes to the inside, you think he's going to back on the turn one? At all? Maybe not. Well, we're going to get to find out. Here he goes. He's on the inside.
All right.
I like the inside, though, because you've got options. Exactly. 8 are better than 4. Yeah, that's 100% correct. 8 tires quarter better than 4, whether it's on a quarter mile or a mile and a third. That is true.
7 laps to go.
Well, here's the thing. You're not going to give him any favors. You moved him up, but he didn't put you in the fence. He moved you up and put you in the fence. You're going to take care of business if you're the one car of Chastain and go win this race. Again, it's been a year since he's been at Victory Lane. That boy on that outside 3 times the bridesmaid. These guys are hungry and they want this win more than ever.
It's in that opposite order of the 24.
Who's that other kid?
I don't know. I still say he's got some damage. Maybe Ross Chastain's last victory. And what did they tell him? Stay tuned. That was several rounds ago. We will have 6 laps to go when we restart. Chastain and Larson on the front row.
Watch the jump. Watch the help from behind.
Corner line going. Green flag.
Chase had trouble in the gear.
6.
Larson, not much help underneath them. The race is on for the lead right here, 1 or 2.
Well, Chase does not get into turn 1 well at all.
Whoa! No fucking way! No fucking way!
Turned and William Byron to the lead.
I don't believe that. Yo.
All right, those of you starting at home.
Epic.
I did.
Total epic.
Both cars out of the race.
And this happy couple gets to go home together. Neither.
Oh my God. Whoa.
She says.
She just said, I want to go home.
Man, that's unfortunate. I saw that one coming.
Okay, Larry, you win again. Now the damage there.
Whoa. Wow. That was something. That was fucking something.
Trouble behind Larson. Didn't get to push that top. It's William Byron. We talked about the help there. Then you get in the corner. The 5 tried to turn down, knowing that the one was coming up the racetrack. He knew what the play he was going to do. Got into one another.
Correct. Wow. Andy Mitchell, great camera work. Children. Put them in the sandbox together.
I tell you, Kevin Harvick. How about Harrison Burton? Good run for him. Good opportunity. Justin Haley.
My God. I can't believe that.
Second, you believe this?
So if Ross doesn't come up that far, trying to squeeze the 5, do they both make it through?
They're both racing hard. They're both knowing exactly what each other's holding for cars, and they try to prevent it from happening, and they both wrecked. And they're both going extremely well.
Chase Briscoe had a great game. Here's Danny Evans. He's back on the lead lap here.
Yo, that was something.
Yeah. How about William Byron? William Byron was within 2 laps of winning this race last year. Well, we'll listen first to Kyle Larson's radio. With Daniel not at all impressed.
Two aggressive race car drivers. Racing for one of the most prestigious wins there is at Darlington. Neither one of them will want it.
Given the kind of situation, Cal make sure they go as hard as get in there and then try to cross the road.
My God.
You always look back tomorrow. Yeah, this for that. How many times did you do that?
That's going to be a quiet hold to bed tonight, early to bed.
Yeah, that will be a quiet drive home. All right, let's go back to last year. I'll give you one more look at last year's finish here.
All right, William Byron gets into Joey Logano, torches him up a little bit, got him up the wall. Joey thought, didn't like it a bit. As soon as he got to the bumper, William Byron did not waste any time retaliating. Then got out of that car and said he did so. That's one thing I did like about Joey. He got out, owned it, said he repaid the favor, won the race.
It makes pretty much no bones about it.
That's what I do love about that. You know, we were talking about these scenarios over the last month and a half. That roller right there, 22 car will get out and just say it. This is exactly what happened. Did you do it on purpose? Yep.
So Kyle Larson is still on the lead lap after repairs, but he's going to restart back in 21st.
Kevin Harvick, man, I'm telling you, that Ford Mustang, that driver is hungry.
There he is.
Wants to win a race. One more race, he said, before he retires. Here's his opportunity to win one of the big.
Well, and it is, we're looking at the replay from a minute ago.
Yeah, where's he choose? You going to go on the bottom?
No. Talking about going to turn 3.
Oh, yeah.
22 and 24.
You just going to move. How about Harrison Burton? Wood Brothers. Wouldn't it be cool to see the Wood Brothers in this race?
Ross Chastain out of the race and released Pearson. If you look at the top 8 here, I think you're only going to find one more victory this year.
That does not look good for Chastain.
Record scenario.
I think it has been for about the last 10 laps. But this will be overtime. Green-white checker.
Keselowski in 4th. Long time coming.
And look at the Fords in that top half dozen. 2 Chevys, 4 Fords in the first 6 spots. And the Fords did not show a lot of speed in qualifying. Only one, Keselowski, made it into the final round. And here they are, the Valley Chevys for the win. And the first Toyota is Bubba Wallace back in 7th place. There's the Jeff Burton paint scheme that his son Harrison is carrying for the Wood Brothers today.
You said, go ahead. If it's a 24, what do you choose?
I'm gonna choose the outside. I want the outside. I need to get to the 32. I need to be in position to turn two. I feel good about that. If I can get him around door to 3 and 4, I've got him. He can't come off the 2 behind him, but I like the outside when I get to 3 and 4. Okay. But after what we just saw, the key word is I got to get to 3 and 4.
Here come the choose.
I got it outside. That's what I like that move.
So William Byron will have his teammate Chase Elliott behind him. Harvick's Ford will have Keselowski's Ford behind him for the restart. Now, if I on the last restart, didn't all start pretty quick in the box. They were pretty even on the last one. Yes, early in the box. Yes.
I think that caught everybody else off guard.
The help behind you, for sure. Neither car had any help behind. You're going to see more help on now.
That created a gap.
I think you're going to see the help on the outside, and you're definitely going to see this Brad Keselowski. Look for a 3 wide. If he lags back just at least a little bit and gets a run on those 2, Keselowski is going for it.
Or everybody knowing that it was Kyle and Ross on the front row created a gap. Yeah. There's the Goodyear 400 trophy that awaits one of these drivers in 2 laps if we get back.
How about Bubba Wallace? See him in the backside of that camera shot, man. What a turnaround for him.
Credit One Bank overtime. Here we go. Byron, Harvick on the front row for green.
And a good start for Harvick on the bottom. A lot of pressure. Giving him room, though. That's the important thing. Giving him room. There you're going to see it clear. Harvick's got a lot of damage on his car.
Front 4 single file. It's on for there.
Around the white flag.
White flag for Byron, who came within 2 laps of winning here 1 year ago.
Redemption time for him.
Harvick 5, car lengths back, long gap to Elliott in 3rd. Gonna come back for Chase.
Yeah, Chase Elliott, good turnaround, taking advantage of this end. William Byron had a good car all day, top 5 car. Here he is off the floor, Mike.
Rick Hendrick wins 296. William Byron wins the Goodyear 400.
William Byron with the Jeff Gordon throwback.
That's what it's all about. Great turnaround for him. Harvick, man, 2nd place. Elliott 3rd. Solid day all day long for Keselowski. Wallace with that huge rebound at Burton. That's a much-needed top 10 for him, the Wood brothers.
I love that Harvick gave it his all on that restart, but he raced William clean down in 1 and 2.
Yeah, Harvick did a very good job. He didn't force the issue down there. I don't think
He probably didn't feel like he could beat him anyway, given what William had done all day.
And he had quite a bit of damage. We saw all that wreck was right in his lap.
And Chase Elliott, what a rebound for 3rd place.
Oh, my gosh. That's like winning the race for us.
Brad Keselowski 4th, Bubba Wallace 5th. Harrison Burton gets 6th. Bush, Haywood, Blaney, and Busher, the top 10.
Man, something about you, Bill. Everything just gets awesome. What's the deal? You show up and you all race with
Haywire. It's the 7th career win for William Byron, who last won at Phoenix. And he's had his 3rd of the season.
Terrible year.
Yeah, 3 wins?
It's a terrible year. And what, a 3rd of the season? Well, coming up on that.
Yeah, Jamie Little with that hoop skirt again.
Yeah, Wallace added on too.
Thank you. Got to be there to capitalize on it. That's exactly what we decided to do.
8th win of the season for Chevrolet, and the Bowtie's 43rd win at Darlington.
Good car all day. Solid car.
Jamie Little.
William Byron, 1 year ago, the frustration, the fire that we saw in you, of being wrecked from the lead with 2 to go. Now you come back here a year later, a little bit of redemption. Put into words what this one means.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. My granddad passed away on Thursday, and just man, I wish my family could be here.
Red Byron, inaugural champion.
Working out, honestly, it just worked out that way today. You know, we didn't have the best third stage. We just kept battling, and things just kind of come back around. So, I want to wish Happy Mother's Day to my mom. My sister just graduated school, so big day. Definitely didn't expect this, but just thankful for a great team. And yeah, just things out of the way working out, and come back here to Darlington and have it go exactly the other way.
There's a lot to celebrate, obviously. It's NASCAR's 75th anniversary. You do it at the second oldest track at Darlington, and I just heard your team say win number 100 for Team 24. What can you say about this team and the process that you guys have gone through this year?
Yeah, I'm just thankful that I was able to, get in this 24 car. I was, too young at the time, I feel like, but growing up, maturing, and just having a great team around me, being able to build the core that we have a great group of guys. Rudy, Brandon McSwain, Tyler, my car chief, everybody on the team does a great job preparing good cars, and we work hard at it. So it's nice to see it go our way once.
William Byron wins at Darlington.
All right, Regan Smith was caught up with Ross Chastain.
Ross Chastain checked the release from the infield carousel. Ross, the second to last.
Full commit into one, and I got really tight and drove up and turned myself. I wanted to squeeze him. I wanted to push him up. We had been trading back and forth all day, and I wanted to push him up for sure, but definitely didn't want to turn myself into the wall.
How frustrated do you think Kyle's going to be with you after this one?
Well, I'm the one standing here talking to you, so. For everybody at Worldwide Express, Union Shippers, Global Trans, and to drive the big brown truck today with UPS on the hood, it was a dream come true, and we had a shot, and that's all we can ask for.
Thanks, Ross.
William Byron gets to celebrate with car owner Rick Hendrick and Jeff Gordon, the previous occupant of the number 24. Bill Elliott, thanks for joining us. Glad to have you for the second year in a row here.
I appreciate you guys. Y'all do an awesome job.
Well,
thanks, buddy.
We appreciate the help. Thank you.
Heck yeah.
All right, the Charlotte studio will bring us home on the other side after an exciting restart-filled day at Darlington. William Byron ending up in victory lane in the Goodyear 400.